Hello. uh, I see one person has arrived for screeching. Well then, last time we were here, some spicy stuff happened. We have had our first double murder. Oh, it's always been working. I just keep forgetting to actually unmute the Scudio on my streams. I keep forgetting to do that. So that's why the past few streams have been very quiet. Yeah. I'm clumsy, okay? But yeah, so last time we were here, that's what happened. We had a double murder. Unfortunately, Mondo. Unfortunately, he for me. You know. Oh yeah, by the way, guys, I wanted to ask you, do you prefer like this sort of setup where you can kind of see the background of my overlay, or do you prefer like the Persona 4 setup I have where the game takes up the full screen? Just so I kind of know like what I should do with setup, you know? Of course, it's not that important right now, but yeah, just tell me what you prefer, because it'll make my life a lot easier. So, you know, I would prefer that. Okay, anyway, without further ado, let's just get into the double whammy, I suppose. Uh, well, this is intimidating. Another hammer. And now it's Justice Hammer 4, and it's even bigger than before. Is that suspicious individual responsible for killing Taka too? Toko? Don't tell me, Tokugi too? Relax, she just passed out when she saw the blood. The blood? Oh, that's right. When Toko is, Toko, she has a fear of blood, right? We tried everything to wake her up, but no luck. Just leave her here for now. It's like you said. I should just leave her alone for now. But why is it Justice Hammer 4? What do you mean? Celeste was attacked with Justice Hammer 1, and he for me was hit with Justice Hammer 2. But this time it was Justice Hammer 4. What happened to 3? What's the matter? Well, he just mentioned Justice Hammer 3. You remind me. Out with it, do you know something? Actually, Taka's not the only one who has been killed. Hifumi's dead too. What? Hifumi's been killed? Yeah. Which is why you came to get us. Then we better go check it out. Of course, come on. So Sakura, Byakuya, and I rushed out of the physics lab. But as soon as we were out of the physics lab... Ah! Celeste? Weren't you supposed to be waiting in the nurse's office? Something has come up. Yeah, I heard. Hifumi's dead, right? Well, that's not all. It is gone. Huh? What's gone? It has disappeared. Disappeared? Hifumi's body has disappeared. What? What are you talking about? It disappeared? Don't be ridiculous. Are you serious? What the heck is happening here? Everyone, back to the nurse's office. Well, quite easily, I'd imagine. Just get the right person to remove it. After all, the killer is allowed accomplices. I practically leapt down the stairs, nearly losing my balance. I reached the nurse's office completely out of breath. I couldn't believe my eyes. Hifumi's body was there just a few minutes ago. I don't think it's teleportation. Come on, that would be ridiculous. It just disappeared? Me and Celeste went to the bathroom. But we were gone for like a minute. And then when we got back, it must have been the work of the culprits. They came and carried the body away. They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're all going to die just like those guys did.
What did you say?
I don't believe this. I don't believe a body would just disappear. First there were 2 murders and now one of the bodies have been taken. This is unnatural. Hold on, what do you mean 2 murders? Taka's been killed. We found him in the equipment room.
No way!
It can't be! Taka too? It can't be. It can't be. No. Hina, calm down. We're all going to die. All of us. They're gonna kill all of us. And who might be the next target? Toko? Huh? I completely forgot. She's still unconscious in the equipment room. You left her in the scene of the crime? We didn't have a choice. She passed out and she refused to wake up. So she's still unconscious? Wait. You knew she was still up there and said nothing? Why? The annoying little insect that clings to me wherever I go. We'd be better off without her. You bastard. Calm down. You forgot about it, didn't you? You have no right to blame me. Everyone stop fighting right now. Right now we need to hurry back. But here's the thing. Taco is safe, right? Because the limit of murders is 2. You can only kill 2 people before Monokuma gets rid of you yourself. So, Taco is completely safe, actually. Can't take this anymore. I don't want anyone else to die. Byakuya, if something happens to Toko, I will never forgive you. Здравствуйте. We shot out of the nurse's office and bolted up the stairs, heading back to the 3rd floor. We ran back to the equipment room at full speed. And when we got there... Toko! Thank God you're okay. But right away I noticed there was something very different here. Taka's body's gone too! That's great. It was gone. Taka's body, where it should have been there, has disappeared. This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating this or something? No, this is not a hallucination. I know I saw it before, and what I'm seeing now isn't what I saw before. But what? You're saying Taka disappeared too? Stop saying disappeared. It didn't just vanish to thin air. Obviously whoever did this is hiding in the body. But why would they do that? I couldn't possibly begin to imagine. Anyway, our cautioned suspect has clearly continued his murder. He's clearly continuing his crime spree. We have to hurry up and catch him before he kills all of us. I don't think you have to worry about that. Huh? Think about it. You could possibly be responsible for killing and hiding these bodies. When Hifumi's death cry went up, everyone here was together at the 3rd floor. After that, we split into 2 groups. And now, this time, you all came here as a group to the nurse's office. In other news, the In other words, the only ones who could have done this is Hiro and Kyoko, who are still missing. Hold on a second. Kyoko has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. There's no question that she was in the dining hall with us. You seem very adamant in defending her. Perhaps you are in love? That's not it at all.
That's fine.
Well, anyway, yes, I do accept Kyoko's alibi. Which means the suspicious individual we're looking for can be none other than Hiro. Which further means there will be no more murders. The regulations were quite clear about that. Oh, that's right! There's a rule that says you can only kill a maximum of 2 people.
That's right.
As long as the rule is in place, there will not be a third murder. If they were to break that rule... Mencia without a second thought. Mencia, friend, you have 10 years to paste. By the way, did you know that fish paste can also refer to shellfish like shrimp or crabs? Indeed. So since 2 people have been killed, there is no possibility of any more.
Perhaps.
You knew that from the beginning, didn't you, Byakuya? Which means you knew Taoko was never in danger. I still meant it when I said it would be better off without her, though.
In other words.
Yeah. That's a good question. But then they would be both considered accomplices to each other, right? Because... But no, I don't think this is the case. I think it's just one murderer. Anyway, with that in mind, we can now relax and search for the 2 missing bodies. 2 people have been killed and their bodies have been hidden. The only one without an alibi, the only one who could have done it, is Hiro. But is he really the killer? Nah. What about Kyoko? If she's not involved in this case, where did she go?
What?
Hey, Makara, what's the matter? No, it's nothing. Whatever. We need to find those bodies, or our little narrative here can't move forward.
So then...
Yeah, I don't think it's Hiro. I mean, come on, that guy can kill a fly. Very well. Let's up and begin searching. But there's no need to be afraid. No more madness will take place during this case. I know that. I mean, I think I do, but if you're still nervous, I'll come with you. Okay, thank you. No need to thank me. Then let's get moving. Yell if you find anything. Byakuya left the equipment room followed by the others. I have to try and find the 2 missing bodies. Yeah, I do not think at all that it's... Hiro. Like, I mean, it just doesn't make sense. He doesn't have a motive. He wasn't that pressed up for money that, like, he would resort to murder.
Damn.
There are paintings lining the walls. I don't see anything else of the ordinary about them. How about the fact that they were just all placid when it didn't happen before? Huh? The door must be locked. That's weird. Considering, you know, the only mallets that... Isn't it strange that the mallets that were used in the sculpture room, well, the sculpture equipment has gone missing? And now we can't even get into the room where they were supposed to be? Interesting. Methinks the murderer had some time to just, you know, appear, disappear. Lock the room. Make sure that we can get to the evidence so they would be cleared. Yeah, whoever is the killer is very, very meticulous. Because, like, here's the thing. You kinda need to... Like, you kinda need to be meticulous in order for them to be able to get away with it. And this is very meticulous. Ah. Maybe I'm assuming too much, but I think the murderer would have been someone like Celeste, to be honest. Like, she's a gambler, so she would have taken all risks and procurements and whatever. She would plan them all out. Well, Taka isn't as meticulous as this. Oh, not Taka, Hiro. Makoto!
Come on.
Why are you just standing there? We need to get to the repository. You mean...
Indeed.
I found them. Hifumi and Taka's bodies have both been hidden in the repository. I already told Hina and Sakura, we need to go on ahead. The bodies were in the repository? Well, maybe because she's the killer and she knows where everything is. Yeah, I definitely believe it's Celeste now, because it just doesn't make any sense. Are the bodies here somewhere? I have to wonder where they could have been hidden. Up ahead is the repository. The door not turned. I guess it's unlocked. Then I have no choice but to go inside. So I opened the door, and when I entered, I saw... The two bodies that had disappeared were right there. The smell of blood made me gag. What I saw before my eyes was unquestionable, unavoidable, unwavering reality. Hello! Welcome, new people. Yeah, when in the middle of a murder scene. So, this is fun. Not really, it's really awkward. And then, I heard the announcement for a second time.
A body has been after a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like. The class trial will begin.
Someone's very... And so here we are! Without further ado, let me give you all the next Monokuma file. I'm going to hand them out to when you found the bodies the first time, but I thought something might happen. It was really hard to resist, but turns out I was right. Just hand it over already.
Punishment is waiting for you.
Like, look at, Taka. He's under carpets, right? Maybe the killer used the carpets or something? Or some kind of top? Now, make sure to investigate with all of your mental might and prepare for the class trial. Okay, see you later. Well then. Now that we found the bodies, all that is left is to uncover the culprit. Hold on. How could you be so calm? I mean, they're dead, you know.
That's terrible.
Dead, gone forever, they're never coming back. Awful. This is all just too awful. Ina suddenly burst into tears. She clutched at Hifumi's lifeless body.
Who would do this? Why? Why?
Large red tears fell from her eyes. The tears fell on Hifumi's cheeks. This was some world of make-believe. This might have been when Hifumi opened his eyes, but this wasn't a movie. Nan desu ka? Nani? This wasn't...
He's alive again?
Uh-huh.
Am I cold? So cold. Is winter coming? Hifumi, wake up! Huh? That's right. I remember now. Hope's Peak.
What's happening? What's happening? I am very lost, very confused. What?
Come on, you gotta wake up! I remember everything.
Really? With that head injury? That's surprising.
Before I met you all, I met you all.
His memories all blending together. He has nothing useful to offer us.
The light, it's reaching out to me.
So apparently the way to solve amnesia is to get bonk on the head. Who would have thought?
Like the tail of a comet. Hey, Hifumi! Who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right. I remember their name. Yasuhiro.
Yasuhiro? Wow. That's weird. His eyes closed, and they never opened again. Death for a second time. Absolute, undeniable death. I don't know. Like, ugh. I don't think it is Yasuhiro, because that would be way too obvious, you know? There was no second miracle. Reality sets in again. This isn't a stereotypical fantasy world. Tears can't restore a person's vitality.
Honestly,
You have no tears, do you? No blood in your veins, no calcium in your bones. At least you have your meat.
Stop talking.
You're just angry. Going out of his way to return, just leave us with those unnecessary dying words. Now this game has become exceedingly boring. He said Yasuhiro, right?
then perhaps
Yasuhiro Hagakure. This is the only person he could have been referring to.
So, in other words,
And with that, the case is solved. Assaulting people and even killing Taka and Hifumi. And then going as far as to hide their bodies. A criminal that hides his face under a mask and uses a bunch of giant wooden hammers. Is that what Hiro is?
what is this?
If that's true, I can't forgive him. No way I can ever forgive him. To kill two of our friends. Anyway, it's about time we track down the culprit in this little life or death game here. Although, this time it's not all that life or death. The trial will conclude without much trouble.
Indeed.
Yes, it does look like that way. It's going to begin again. We're going to have to go through this one more time. I have to accept it. I have no choice but to go through with it. To make sure that everyone survives. I just have to do it. Aren't you all being a bit hasty? First I better check out the Monokuma file. The victims were Hifumi Yamada and Hirotaka Ishimaru. Kiyotaka Ishimaru. The cause of death for each was a blow to the head. It is for they were both killed with a similar weapon. That's it?
Very strange.
Yeah, it's pretty strange. We got way less information this time than before. That's no problem. After all, the events of this case unfolded before our very eyes. We should know more about what happened than the Monokuma files anyway. Maybe. There's something else that's been bothering me. Someone has been missing for quite a while. Are you talking about Kyoko? Without a doubt, she has an alibi for when Celeste and Hifumi were attacked. But what if the killer wasn't acting alone? What if they had an accomplice? An accomplice? An accomplice? What are you doing here? Don't be rude. I'm here to answer your question. What question? You're talking about accomplices, right? I'm pretty sure I explained it before. Didn't I? During the first class trial.
Speaking of which, I'd like to ask the bear, if there is an accomplice, do they also become blackened?
So you ask, and so I shall answer. Each murder is allowed to have an accomplice, but only the one who does the killing will get to graduate.
So in other words, two people can work together, but one of them has no chance of profiting from it.
Then there's no way anyone would work together, right?
In other words,
So basically, you can be an accomplice if you want, but there's no gratification in it.
So then,
So you're saying that nobody would like together either?
hey,
Sorry, can't answer that. That would obstruct the free exchange of information between you guys. I just want to make sure that you don't forget, no matter how much you assist in a murder, only one blackened can graduate, and the accomplice gets nothing.
So in other words,
So we only need to figure out who's the blackened one who did the killing, right? Just like normal?
well,
Okay. Let me take this opportunity to clarify the whole shebang. I don't know. Like, in this class trial, you need to determine is the one true blackened who has to devise the murder plot and put it into action. The true blackened, so just one person. See, it's just one person.
well now.
That's enough explaining. Now it's down to the final battle between all of you and the blackened. Collect all the contestants. So there can only be one blackened, and the accomplice wouldn't benefit. So then I can't see why any way Kyoko would be connected to this case after all. You may be right. If that's true, then Kyoko, where are you?
however,
As long as she isn't connected to the case, it doesn't matter. Let's go back to the investigation.
Indeed.
I have absolutely no doubt that Hiro is responsible. For the time being, I suppose we can't have to pursue further information.
So,
You know, don't you think we should consider a certain someone as suspect just in case? I'm talking about the murderous fiend Genocide Jack. What? I'm offended! Yeah! When did you... I've been looking all over for you, master. When I woke up, you will know where to be found. Oh my gosh, look at his face! Look at his face, that's hilarious. He looks like he's about to like, pee himself. Anyway, you then, milk sack swimmer girl. Milk sack?
you gotta be kidding.
Why do I have to be a suspect? Well, I mean, you are a serial killer. Oh, so I'm like a special guest suspect every time? I have an alibi, you know. She's right about that. When we heard Hifumi's scream, she was with me. And when the bodies disappeared, she was lying unconscious in the equipment room. Plus, Taka's body aside, I can't imagine any way she would have been able to move Hifumi's body. Besides, I calculate every move I make. I'm not going to kill someone when everyone knows what I look like. They call me the murderous fiend for nothing.
What are you saying?
It's not the kind of thing you should be bragging about.
Let's see.
On another topic, should we post the garden the bodies like before? We can't have them disappearing again.
So then,
Hina and I can handle it. You don't mind, do you, Hina? Sure, I'd be totally useless on the investigation anyway.
It's all clear now.
Then that's that, so let's begin. This whole thing was so strange. All but one of us has an alibi, so figuring out should be obvious, right? But maybe it's just me, but I don't think it's going to be as straightforward as it seems. There are hammers of all different sizes hanging on the wall, though some are more like mallets. Mallets? Could the Justice hammers be disguised using these as a model? So I'm using these as a model? Either way, all of the hammers obviously have seen a lot of use. They're all covered in debris and chalky stone powder. Wait. For some reason, this hammer isn't dirty at all, and it's wet. Did someone wash this recently? Oh, there's a top, see? Did the killer use this to move Taka's body? This way, that way, there wouldn't be any blood left behind while the body was moved. I mean, how on earth was how on earth was the killer able to move someone so big? The nurse's office where he was discovered to here, the repository. All the way from the first floor to the third without anyone noticing. How the hell? It's not good. I just don't get it. I'll have to think about it later. For now, I have to finish investigating Hifumi himself. If I remember correctly, Hifumi's fatal injury was also a blow to the head. Probably from just hammer 3, which is laying on the floor from the nurse's office. Huh? Wait. Something's off about his body. Why am I getting this feeling? Something's different. Something about Hifumi's body in the nurse's office versus his body right now. That's right, his glasses! When his body was in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered in blood. The plot thickens. Now they're completely clean. Does that mean someone wiped his glasses off? But who would do that and why? That's weird. Like, that's really weird. So, Makoto, I've been thinking about something. It's about the repository. Huh? What is it? After Hifumi's and Taka's bodies disappeared, we split up to look around, right? I was really scared, so me and Sakura stuck together. And we came right to the repository to, look. But when we got there, the repository was locked. We couldn't get inside. It was locked. And we came here as soon as the search started, so there's no way someone could have beat us here. So if that's true, then who locked it? And why is it unlocked now? I wondered the same thing. The door was locked when the search for the bodies began, but now it's wide open. There might be some secret lurking in here. But I better leave the area to figure that out. Okay, think about it. The person who found them is Celeste, right? But the door was locked. So how could she discover them if she's not involved in the murder? Oh, hey! There are too many aspects in the incident of this time. Too many, to be honest. Considering that, it may be good to look back on everything that has happened. Would you like my help? Yeah. Yeah, let's look back on things. This morning, only 4 of us met up in the dining hall. Hina, Kyoko, you, and myself. We waited for the others, but no one showed up, so we decided to look for them. It was around 8 o'clock when we began our search. And as soon as we split up, Kyoko disappeared. After that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room on the 3rd floor, then quickly came and got you and me. According to Celeste, she was attacked by a suspicious individual and laid unconscious for about an hour. In other words, she was attacked an hour before we found her, meaning just after 7 o'clock. Based on the picture Celeste took, we discovered that her attack was dressed in a strange costume. It was Robo Justice. It became clear that this Robo Justice has dragged Kifumi away. After meeting up with Toko and Byakuya, we began searching for the costumed assailants. Found an injured Hifumi in the library on the 2nd floor. We took him to the nurse's office on the 1st floor, then resumed our search. And after leaving the nurse's office... What's wrong? I saw a shadow. Something moved to the top of the stairs. Based on Celeste's claims, we came back up to the 2nd floor and we split up and began searching. Then right after that, Celeste screamed. This time she apparently seen the suspect on the 3rd floor. Hearing her scream, we quickly made our way to the 3rd floor. Celeste, what's wrong? This is rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costume man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was walking the stairs. So he headed further into the hallway and disappeared. And then... yeah! What was that? The guy from downstairs, that must have been... Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. Oh wow, my manservant definitely has a way of finding people, huh? Stretch! Stretch! Oof! Ah, I need a good stretch. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back. Celeste is sussy. She is very sussy. At that point, we decided to split up into 2 groups. Celestina and I went back to the nurse's office. Meanwhile, you, Byakuya, and Toko pursued the suspect up to the 3rd floor. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi's corpse, which is also when we had the body discovery announcement play. I left Celeste and Hina alone and headed back to the 3rd floor to tell the others what happened. But at that same time, we discovered Taka's body in the equipment room, which means Hifumi and Taka's bodies were discovered right around the same time. Because I remember the body discovery announcement play right after finding Taka. And that's when I showed up and told you and Byakuya that Hifumi has been killed, right? And Yumi and Byakuya headed down to the nurse's office, leaving behind Toko, who had fainted. But as soon as we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who just arrived to tell us something very unusual. Hifumi's body has disappeared. We hurry back to the nurse's office to discover that his corpse has in fact gone. Then we remembered that we had abandoned the unconscious Toko and rushed back to the equipment room. Are we hallucinating this or something? This time Taka's body has disappeared. So from there we began our search for both of the missing bodies. And some time after, Celeste had told us that she found the bodies and we headed up to the repository. Then there we discovered that 2 bodies have apparently vanished. And it brings us up to now. Looking back, things certainly have been active. If you want to look back on the case again, Just let me know. I'm fine anytime. Wait a second. Yakuya, do you think Hiro really did it? I don't see how anyone could think otherwise. When the attacks and murders and disappearances all happened, every one of us had an alibi. And the last thing Hifumi said when he died, yeah, he said Hiro's name.
Other words.
So there's no room to suspect anyone else. Okay, but if he did do it, why would he hide his identity in that weird costume? Maybe he thought that no matter what happened, he'd be safe as long as his face was covered. Because he's the fool of the century, you see. I mean, he is kinda dumb. Do you really think that's enough to explain it? I feel like there's a clue hiding in there somewhere. And is that it? Is that what's bothering you about the case? Well, no, there's a few other things, like, why did the killer try to hide the bodies? He probably figured that if we couldn't find the bodies, we couldn't complete our investigation. But if that was the case, we found the bodies pretty quickly, didn't we? Again, that comes back into the fact that the culprit is a moron. Is that really there is to it? The other thing that bothers me is, why did they bother killing 2 people? What? Because all the rules says is if you can kill someone and gets away with it, you graduate, right? So if you're the killer, your #1 priority is to not get caught. By killing 2 people means more clues, more chances you'll get found out. Hold on. Perhaps. I see, so that's what that means. Is everything okay?
That's enough.
Don't talk to me as if we're friends. But what's with that attitude? But you have my appreciation. Thanks to you, I might have some fun with this after all. Byakuya is a butt. Byakuya is a butt. His mysterious words hung in the air as he left the repository. He looked as if he figured something out, but if he did, would they have killed him to tell me what it was? I mean, I am acting kinda like the lead investigator here. There was definitely a lock on the room, but it can only be locked from inside the repository. I don't see any way to unlock it from the art room. The door can only be locked from inside the repository, which makes me wonder. Sakura and Hina confirmed that the doors were locked after we began searching for the missing bodies. And the door is a sign that it can only be locked from inside the repository. Douchebag you, yeah. Ugh. I mean, it is better, but it's a mouthful. In other words, when he checked it out, someone might have already gone into the repository and locked the door. And when they were done, they unlocked it and left, which is why it's unlocked now. Hina claims that there's no way someone could have beaten them to the repository. So that certain someone... Repository door has been added to the Truth Bullets section of your handbook. Curious and curiouser. It's a dolly, it doesn't have a handle. But wait! Isn't this in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? And look at its wheel. There's a blood stain on it. So there's blood on the wheel of the dolly that was moved from the equipment room to the repository. What's the explanation for this? Well, clearly it's that someone used the dolly to move the bodies. Duh. Some blood is spilled out and... well, yeah. There's got to be a clue around here somewhere. Maybe I should check somewhere else. There are places I already know about. First, the nurse's office where Hifumi was found. Then the equipment room where Taka was found. Oh, I nearly said Takuya. Takia. All these names and syllables are kind of blurring together now. But yeah. I think we found all that we can in here for now. So let's head back to the physics lab. Okay, that's just a rec room. That's the classrooms. Hello, bunny. Hello, bunny. Hello, bunny. Okay. Hmm. Oh, hey, Jill. What's up? I was sleeping right here when the killer carried the body away. I'm super pissed. I missed such a rare event. Okay, let's look at the bloodstain first. There's some kind of tire marker going from the pool of blood to the middle of the room. That reminds me of about the dolly in the repository. There was blood on its tire. Could this have been where the blood came from? Here? Which means that Taka's body was moved from the equipment room to the repository using the dolly. Both rooms were on the 3rd floor, so that definitely would have been possible. But even if the dolly was used to move Taka's body, what about Hifumi? Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office on the first floor. Even with the dolly, there's no way to get up to the 3rd floor. That's a lot of a mystery. Something rotten here. Something's off. I feel it. Yeah. I mean, come on, Taka. There's no way Taka. Well, not Taka. There's no way Hiro would have had the body strength to carry Hifumi over here. But he is dumb enough to do something like being an accomplice, so I don't know. Like, I mean, this is just way too meticulous for Hiro. I mean, come on. This is just like I said, it's too meticulous. It's too well thought out. Too well planned. Something's off. Something's off. Something's really off. But yeah, currently my biggest suspect is actually Celeste, because first of all, Hiro is just, he isn't that smart. He's not smart enough to move around bodies. He's not smart enough to like hide essential information and all that. So it just doesn't make sense that, you know, it's Hiro. Because, come on, Hiro could just... If Hiro was to kill someone, first of all, he wouldn't have thought about moving the bodies to make the investigation more difficult. He also wouldn't have bothered with something like, you know, he wouldn't have bothered with something like hiding the bodies, hiding the evidence, because he would have been too panicked to do that kind of thing. At least I think, if he was the killer. So I think it's someone else. I could be wrong though. Besides, it just doesn't make sense because he doesn't have a motive. Well, not a good motive anyway. Hi Celeste, are you here to mess with the crime scene? What are you investigating, Celeste? I'm not investigating anything precisely speaking. I was simply going around seeing if Hiro is hiding somewhere. How about you? Oh, you know, I'm just checking this and that. The main thing on my mind is how someone could have moved Hifumi's body. How Hifumi was moved, eh? When it disappeared, you were supposed to be in the nurse's office, right?
Yes.
Correct. Hina was not feeling well, so I stayed behind to look after her. But she seemed to be getting worse, so I took her to the bathroom, and when you got back, the body was gone. We could have not gone for maybe a minute or two, though. Yeah, Hina said the same thing. So then, the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short of a time?
Indeed.
It would seem so. To carry off someone as big as Hifumi in only a couple of minutes is... Can't think of anything less than impossible. So that's the count. Something's off. Something's really off. There's a bunch of blood packets in here for blood transfusion, I suppose. But that's weird. It wasn't there before, I don't think. Oh, more to look around in. Okay, what else? What else is there?
Yes. Indeed.
What am I missing? What am I missing? I'm missing something, but what am I missing? Garbage can? There's something inside. It's too small to be a handkerchief. It's a glasses cleaning cloth. And it has some kind of cartoon character on it. Ugh, but it's all covered in blood. Oh, did you find something? Yes, there's a cleaning cloth from the trash can.
Huh?
A cleaning cloth? It's all bloody. Whoever this belonged to must have used it to wipe off some blood. But who would need something like that? I haven't had the slightest idea. Yeah, me either, but I think that might be important. Oh, I don't know, maybe it's whoever cleaned Hifumi's glasses used it and then threw it away because it's bloody. Celeste, I really like your shoes. Where did you get them? Yeah. Okay, we found all that we can here. I'm a bit lost on what I'm supposed to be doing now. Okay, but what if it ends up that Hyoko ended up running into Hiro, and then they spent the their time together, then Hiro ends up with an alibi. Because Kyoko has, you know, Kyoko has no reason to lie, because if she's an accomplice, she doesn't get anything out of it. Something's really off. Really, really off. I'm really stuck. Guys, would it be bad if I just went ahead and used like a guide? Because I'm so lost right now, I don't know what to do. Hey, Taka. Well, not Taka. Hiro. I keep getting them confused. Hey, Hiro. Where are you? Nowhere to be seen. Ugh, I'm so lost. Is he in one of the classrooms? Doubt it. Really doubt it. Might as well check. Reality isn't everything, come on. I am so lost, I am so confused, I don't know what to do. I am so confused, I don't know what I'm doing. Okay. Honestly, I am so confused about what's going on right now. Ah, I am really lost. No missing equipment. Hmm. Hmm. I am really lost. Screw it. I'm gonna use a guide real quick. Hmm. Yeah, my cold still hasn't gone away, so that's excellent. Hmm. Okay, what am I missing? Yeah, I did. Okay. Apparently, I have to go to room 2A. No, no, apparently I don't need to do that. But I am definitely missing something. Because I'm not allowed back into the the thing. I'm a little lost, and this guide isn't really helping. Okay, yeah. Oh, wait, no, maybe we need to talk to Aoi? Oh, Hida. Okay, yeah, we already went over this. Okay, so we did find everything that we could hear. This is a little confusing. Okay. Let's try the fridge again and see if it registers as anything. No, we already looked at it. Okay. Then let's try. Oh yeah, the pool. Let's try the pool because maybe we'll find Kyoko there because since all the doors are unlocked during the investigation. And obviously we didn't check that place last time because, you know, we're like, oh no, I'm acting as a boy, I cannot enter there. Wait, no, it's an investigation, the doors are unlocked, isn't it? In that case, let's see if we can borrow a thing. No, doesn't seem to be the case. This is annoying. This is bothersome. I don't know what I'm doing. I already checked the school. I checked from top to bottom on the school. I've looked everywhere. The only place I haven't looked is the class trial room and the student store. God, this is so frustrating. I'm so lost. Can I go in now? Ah! What am I missing? What am I missing? This is really annoying me. What am I missing? Like, the guide is telling me to go into Hero's room, but I can't do that because the game is like, oh no, you can't go into the dorms. What the hell am I supposed to do? There's no one here. What am I missing? What am I missing? This is really annoying. Guys, any suggestions? Because I am at a loss. I am at a genuine loss. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm stuck. I'm genuinely stuck. Like, I checked every room. I did. I went around the whole school. I checked every single room. Nothing came up. And, you know, I can't even go into the dorms because the game won't let me. I'm telling you, the game won't let me enter the dorms. I literally tried to enter the dorms 3 times, and the game was like, I should check the school first. But I checked everything. I'm so lost. Yeah, let me look over the guide once more, okay? Chapter 3. I'm looking at the IGN one. Okay. Investigation Toko, Hammer 4. Yeah, we already did that. We already checked the repository door. Okay. Rec room, exit the rec room. Then what's the point of going to the rec room? And go to class 2A. Enter the repository. Examine dead body 1, dead body 2. Hammond, Dolly. Yeah, we already did that. Speak to Byakuya, speak to Sakura, speak to Aoi, leave the repository and raw room to go to the... Okay, we already did the... We already went to the equipment, we checked 4, Hammer 4, Blood, Top. Actually, did I check the top again? Let me check. I wish the killer wasn't so illogical. It would make my life a lot easier. Yeah, I can't enter, remember? Because his room is in the dorms and I can't enter the dorms. I just can't. At this top, I feel like I've seen this somewhere before, and just recently too. Well, yeah, it's the top that the corpse was on. This is so annoying. So this is where you were. I've been looking for you. You have? I wanted to thank you for what you did. Not that you mean to, but you ended up making this little game of ours very interesting indeed. You should go to Hiro's room. Oh, does your majesty finally allow me to exit the school? How kind of you. Oh, and let me give you this. Meet me in the dining hall. Meeting in the dining hall. That's the note Hiro wrote for us to all meet up, right? You remember well. Well, the penmanship is pretty remarkable, so it left an impression.
It's all clear now.
Anyways, this makes it clear, right? This is a trap. What is? Things are growing even more exciting. What are you talking about? I've already repaid my debt. I don't owe you any more explanations. Goodbye. Yasuhiro's message? He said I should go to Yasuhiro's room, but what's waiting for me in there? Oh, so does His Majesty finally allow me to exit the school? How kind of him. However shall I repay you? What a pain in the butt. I don't think he's the traitor though, because he's far too arrogant. Like, someone like him would not ever cooperate with Monokuma, not because he's a good person, but because it would be dull for him. And he has no use for it. My room, Rondo, Sakuya, Sayaka. Why did I say Sakuya? Celeste, Sakura, Leon, Yasuhiro. Door's unlocked. I guess I can go inside. Yaka did say to go look. It might not be a great idea, but I'm gonna take the plunge. Oh wow. This is Hero's room. There's all kinds of weird stuff in here. I think, where did he even get all of it from? More possibly, he hasn't turned up yet, which means he can't really complain if I don't get his permission to search his room, right? Is it just me or is this glitching? Yeah, it's glitching, what the heck? Nan desu yo. I think there's something in the card box. It's a blueprint for something, and something that looks like it's made out of cardboard, plastic, and plaster? Is this Robo Justice? And then it's in Hero's room. But wait, these blueprints. Something about them bothers me. It's not his handwriting. That's what's bothering you, Makoto. It's just not his handwriting. He even gets the bathroom this dirty. Ugh. Makoto, big news! What's wrong? We found Kyoko. What? Is she okay? Where is she? Wait, I wasn't done. There's more big news. Robo Justice showed up too. Robo Justice? It's Hero wearing the costume. Anyway, as soon as you can, head to the pool on the second floor. To think that Hiro and Kyoko would turn up at the same time. Anyway, I have to head to the pool. Kyoko and... Phew, man, I've had the worst day. Hiro? What do you mean you've had the worst day? What the? Hiro? Yeah, duh, who else would I be? That's a good question. What? Why do I look like this? What? Did someone come along and remodel me when I was asleep? Is it the Illuminati? I found Hiro. He was jammed into the pool room locker. It looks like he was fast asleep, so I kicked him and woke him up. I still can't believe you kicked me! You could have been a little more gentle about it, like, I don't know, caress my face or something. That's creepy. Anyway, Kyoko, where have you been all this time? You just disappeared all of a sudden without a trace. That was something I had to check up on. What do you mean? Never mind. I can't never mind. Never mind. More importantly, she says that, but does she have any idea? Does she know that the people think she might be spying for the mastermind? First of all, you need to explain to us why you're just like that. Well, I mean, I have no idea. 1 second I was asleep, then don't even know how that happened, then I woke up, then I was here. I don't care. Do something about that costume. It pays me just to look at you. Well, I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help. Why would you make something that you can't even take off by yourself? I didn't make the stupid frigging thing. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't have a choice. Let's help him. It took everyone's help, but slowly we were able to get Hiro out of the suit. It took a few minutes, but eventually we got the pieces off. Phew, free at last. Isn't it kind of weird how perfectly the suit fit Hiro?
So then,
More importantly, nobody but Hiro would be able to wear that costume. Wait, what? Hold on a sec.
honestly,
Don't bother trying to act innocent. The blueprints were in your room as well.
is that okay?
Another room. In other words, it's obvious to everyone that you made this costume. That's true. I saw the blueprints myself. Yeah, me too.
Could it be?
Then it's obvious the one who put this costume on and went around attacking everyone was Hiro. Shall we tie him up and gag him? Good idea. We don't want him killing anyone else. Tie me up? Hold on, guys. I think that's going a little far.
That's right.
He might be a suspect, but he deserves fair treatment. Yeah, I mean, attacking blueprints? I have no idea what you guys are talking about. You can't talk your way out of it. It's been decided. You killed them. What? Killed who? I have no idea what you're talking about. There must be fake heroes running around.
What are you saying?
You're the only one who could wear this costume. Who else could have possibly been the costume attacker? How do you know I was the only one? Maybe you should try it on for yourself before you can convict me. Fine, if you're going to be a jerk about it, I will. Without missing a bit, Hina decided to putting on the robe of justice costume.
Huh. See? Look. See how loose it is? I mean, come on. I'm blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing.
Yeah, exactly. Celeste wants it to go her way. Because I think she's the murderer.
I'm telling you, it wasn't me.
And not to mention, you totally can't bend at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's not a very nice thing to say. I mean, it's not like I made it. I just got caught up in the moment.
Well, either way, now we know for sure, right? I mean, it seems pretty clear that nobody but Hiro could have fit into this dumb costume.
Okay, chill, Morgana. In a huff, Hina took off the suit back off again. Well, now you're all out of excuses. What? No. See, it's because you're a girl. If it was another guy, then... Makoto, go ahead. Okay. Against my will, I picked off the pieces of the floor and tried putting them on. It's no good. The arms are too long. There's no way I can wear this.
Just a second.
See, I told you it was impossible. You're absolutely right. It seems that this costume was made to fit Hiro's body exactly. Then there's another costume. They must have one that looks the same, but it fits them.
Honestly.
If you insist on this line of defense, then show us some evidence. Evidence? You claim there's another suit. Yes, then you must find it and show it to us. But what the heck?
Just the worst.
Who cares? Hiro's the only one without an alibi during this whole thing anyway.
Terrible.
Which is how we know it's him. I mean, is that really true? I have no idea what's been going on. Can someone, like, tell me?
What the heck?
If you don't tell me what's going on, how am I supposed to understand? I mean, I figured out that someone's been killed, right? Hey, Makoto, who was it? Well, two people have been killed, Taka and Hifumi. What? Two people?
Just the worst.
Why are you freaking out? You did it. I did not. Wait, hold on. If those two were the ones that were killed,
How about that?
that's it, I know who did it.
So then,
You may as well tell us then. Taka and Hifumi were fighting over alter ego, right?
I'm at least 30% right.
Which means alter ego and Chihiro must have done it.
correct.
I see, that's unfortunate.
Please.
Huh? Unfortunate?
What the heck?
Stop trying to trick us. Just admit you did it, okay? I'm telling you, you got it all wrong.
Oh, so.
Ah, I know the note. Note? Last night, someone left a weird note under my door. And here's what it said. I found a hole that we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out. So, don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet at the rec room at 1 AM. But the last thing I remember was I went into the rec room, but for some reason I fell asleep. The real killer must have drugged me or something. Not a chance. No, hold on, you might be onto something. The nurse's office did have chemicals that could do that. What? Really? I told you, someone's trying to set me up. A secret passage. A chance to escape. There you go. Someone used that to trick me. And if that was true, you would have to be one dumb fish who bites every piece of bait that floats in front of you. Well, after being trapped here for so long, even if you know it's a lie, you still gotta check, right? I'll take... Yeah. They preyed on my desires to get out of here. They deceived me. I still don't buy it.
Don't be mean.
Well, you should buy it.
Just a second.
Okay then, show me that note. With pleasure. I have it right here in my pocket.
No way.
Looks like I lost it. Yeah, sure. But please, you gotta believe me, I wouldn't hurt a fly. As I said before, if you want us to believe you, you must produce evidence. Can you show us that note? I have no particular issue in what you claim, but if you want us to believe you, give us a reason. What the heck, for serious? Now then, shall we resume our investigation? There's no time to waste before the class trial begins. Why do you need to keep investigating? We already know who did it. Why? Why did you kill them? Tell us, hero. No, it's like I said. Was it to get the money Monokuma offered me? Yeah, that must be it. You must be totally broken, that's why. Wait, that's a false accusation. Someone help me. Just be thankful we haven't bound you and gagged you. If you have the time to yell and carry on, you have the time to search for your evidence, right? Ah, you're right. I need to look for that second note and the suit. Vito, don't fail me now. I guess I'm better be back for guard duty. I'm going to ask Tucker, I was gonna ask Tucker, Genocide Jack to switch with me. But if she and Sakura got into a fight, we could have a catastrophe on our hands. Well, bye. Makoto, do you have a second? I want you to help me with the investigation.
It would seem...
It looks like I got a late start on this one, so I need to make up some ground. Sure, I don't mind helping, but could you promise me one thing? Later, when we have time. Can you tell me why you disappeared? No. So Jeremy's so simply. Anyway, I need your help. You don't mind, do you? Okay.
Shall we go?
Thanks. Now then, shall we?
Hey.
So, Makoto. First I'd like to examine the corpses. I can't believe I'm hearing this from a girl the same age as me.
Correct.
Dead bodies don't lie, you know. They tell the truth far more easily than the living.
Hey.
Don't you agree? How am I supposed to answer?
Anyway,
we have to hurry before the class trial begins again. Yeah, you're right. Okay then. Show me where the bodies are. Then the repository. Then I guess we'll be heading that way for now. Yeah, no, I think Hero's just way too dumb to have done something like murder. Especially something this elaborate. And dramatic. He's the sort of hit and run guy, to be honest. Hifumi and Taka. For a moment, Kyoko seemed to go rigid, but only for a moment.
So then,
Well then, let's get started. She crouched down next to Taka and without hesitation began to poking and putting out the bodies.
I knew it.
The Monokuma file was right. They were killed using similar weapons. Her movement was so smooth. She was so calm. Seeing how comfortable she was made me feel a little more comfortable.
I see.
Makoto, I found something. You did?
Hey,
You remember the wristwatch Taka always wore on his left hand? You did?
look.
Were you really so oblivious to the people around you? Do you dislike other people that much? No, that's not it. Anyway, so you said he had a watch?
So then,
Take a look. It's broken. You can see the hands aren't moving, right? Most likely broke when he had his encounter with his assailant. And if you notice, the hands are frozen just past 6 o'clock. Which means the watch was broken sometime just after 6.
that's right.
But last night, Taka's watch definitely wasn't broken. Hey, you. How long are you going to keep us waiting? Taka's irritated voice paced. Yes, he said pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that. Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
In other words,
So if it worked at 10 last night, it shouldn't have been broken at 6 p.m. Meaning, it must have happened at 6 this morning.
however,
And that's not all. Look at Taka's left hand. He appears to be gripping something. You're right, there's something white in there.
Makoto,
You try and pry it out. Me?
because
Rigor mortis has already set in. Boys are better suited for this kind of manual labor, right? Okay. As much as I didn't want to, I grasped Taka's cold hand. The ice-cold hand was nearly enough to cause my heart to stop beating. After some effort, I was able to free the object from his tightly clenched fist. A piece of paper? Is that all he had in his hand? Yeah, that's it. Just a little scrap of paper. Doesn't seem like much of a clue, right?
is that right?
I wonder about that. Kyoko then turned to Hifumi's body.
So then,
Let's check Hifumi's body now. Maybe he's left us a few clues of his own. So, did you find anything? I did, more than I expected, to be honest. Look at this. A wad of paper.
that's right.
Hifumi had it hidden on him. Hidden?
Indeed.
It's evident in his pants, so I suppose he hid it on purpose, you see? In his pants, so wait,
Why is that?
it was just his pants, not like his socks or something. I don't know what that means.
Okay,
Anyway, let's take a look at this paper. Go ahead, Makoto, open it up. When I think about how it was stuffed down his pants, it's like, it better be important here for me, I will never forgive you for this. A note? I found a hole we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
so
It sounds very familiar. It is. It's the same thing Hiro said. When he was telling us the truth.
however,
Although it's not exactly the same, is it? The rec room. The time was different. Hiro told us that he started. Sorry. To meet at 1 a.m. But not they wrote for Hifumi to meet for ask him to meet at 6 a.m.
is that right?
Hold on. Just because Hifumi had a note doesn't mean it was meant for him. Huh?
So,
Part of it had been torn off, right? I think there's likely some meaning there. There's some meaning to the part that has been ripped off. Could you maybe explain it a bit more? Think carefully.
Hey,
Why else would he be clutching that scrap of paper so tightly? I have no idea.
so then,
What if it wasn't just a scrap of paper that he was holding it? What if it had something more important? And how could something important like that become a mere scrap of paper? That's what you need to answer. Ow, my butt. I've been sitting on this uncomfortable box and my butt really hurts.
hey,
And while we're at it, I should tell you one other thing. The two victims this time definitely had e-handbooks on them. So the handbooks have nothing to do with how the murders were carried out. Not that there was any reason to think they were connected to the killings in the first place. So you're thinking I don't have to think about the handbooks this time, right?
is that right?
If you don't have to think about it, I wouldn't have gone out of my way to mention it. All that it is that they weren't used to help carry out the murders. It may come a point, however, when a handbook played a role. A handbook may have played a role, I don't think I understand. But if Kyoko thinks it's important, I better keep it in mind. Oh no, is it all of this?
Are you excited? Are you pumped? It's time for the class trial to begin!
Oh boy. My stomach.
Like the bright burst of fireworks, like the flash of a soul clashing with life and death. And so, with no further ado, everyone please meet at the usual spot. Make your way to the red door on the first floor of the school.
Oh gosh, this is not going to go well. No, I'm fine.
See you soon.
I'm fine. It's more like I'm nervous about this.
It would seem...
It's unfortunate, but I suppose this is where our investigation comes to an end. You'll have to figure it out for yourself and come to the proper conclusion. Yeah, you're right.
Shall we go?
Well, we better get going. Okay. I need to review the controls. No, that's not where there is. Oh boy, here goes nothing. Oh crap, I should have saved. Everyone has heard Monokuma's proclamation and they will gather at the red door. And as soon as we were all there...
Monokuma appears!
Hello, hello, hello. He multiplied? Nope, not multiplication. It just looks that way because of an illusion. I moved so fast it only looks like I have multiplied. Can you guys tell who the real Monokuma is? No, you're fine. Yeah, sure, you can tell them to shut up, Blackbird. Can we get on the elevator already? You're not playing along. We're not here to play with you. Okay, fine. Then if everyone's here and ready to go, please pull the pain train elevator. I'll see you guys down there.
Let's go.
Okay then, shall we?
Please.
Hold on, I'm not mentally prepared yet. You'll never be mentally prepared. You can't run away anymore, hero. You're going to pay for your sins. I already told you I didn't do it. For serious. That reminds me. Did you ever find the other costume? Or the note? Well, no, but... How unfortunate. Then it seems we have our culprit. Oh boy.
Hey,
This isn't the place to talk about it. Save your accusations for when we're in the courtroom.
That's right.
She's right. Let's begin down there first, then the story can really begin. Yeah, good idea. That's right. I have to do it. I can't let whoever killed Hifumi and Taka get away with it. For everyone who's still alive, and for the two who have lost their lives. The one who killed Taka and Hifumi. The one who killed the two of our friends. The killer is someone right here. I'm gonna save just in case. I took one last deep breath and exhaled slowly. I began walking towards the elevator. Once everyone is on board. Oh gosh. This is not good for my health. The doors closed on their own, and the steel box began to move. Why am I so nervous? This is just a game. The clunking of the elevator kept us company, so we fell further and further down. There's no going back. Until we settled all this, we can't go anywhere. Oh gosh, this is... I'm not sure how long it took before the elevator finally came to a stop. The elevator door slid open, opening up to a cruel fate. When I see all of you gathered together like this, I realize how few of you there are left here. Your school life is slowly reaching its climax. Only because of you. Why are you making us do such cruel things to each other? What? You all hate me that much, but I'm so cute! Stop goofing around and begin the trial. Don't rush me, of course I'm going to start it. I would never be like, stay tuned for the action-packed class trial after this commercial break. I'd never hold out on you like that. Okay, let's begin. Take your assigned seats. That's how the curtain opened once more. A deadly judgment, a deadly perception, a deadly betrayal, deadly riddle, deadly defense, deadly faith, deadly class trial. Yes. Oh gosh. Okay. Set skills. Lost in foot. Breathing techniques. Lost in foot, yeah. Okay, that's all of them.
Let's begin with a basic explanation of the class trial. So, your votes will determine the results. If you can figure out who done it, then only they will receive punishment. But if you pick the wrong one, then I'll punish everyone besides the blackened, and the one that deceived everyone else will graduate.
Okay.
Now then, to begin with...
We already know who did it.
Was that?
It was Hiro. He does not have an alibi for when the murders took place, and we found him in that suit. Don't try and deny it. You killed them.
I didn't. Someone knocked me out. I was asleep the whole time. I don't know anything about it.
Shut your murdering mouth, murderer!
Who are you calling a murderer?
I am sorry to say, Hero, but we do have evidence. Blueprint for the suit. Parts we assume were used to build it. And all of it was found in your room. You have to admit, the evidence is quite compelling. It points to you as having created the suit and wearing it while committing crime after crime.
How many times do I have to tell you? I don't know.
Is Hero really the killer, or... Before anything else, we have to make that clear. Make your argument.
Everything we found in your room. The blueprints, the suit parts, they are up.
Just hold on, Celeste. Break.
Are we sure Hero really made those blueprints?
What do you mean?
Well, take a look at this. It's the note that Hero wrote, asking everyone to meet up after Alter Ego disappeared. The handwriting's obviously different, wouldn't you say? When you compare it to the blueprints.
There's no way you could think the same person made both of them.
Unless that person made it a point to disguise their handwriting.
No, the differences are bigger than that, I think.
Come on. I'm not smart enough to think I've tried to change my handwriting anyway.
So Makoto, are you saying you don't think Hero's the culprit?
And he's not the only one. I think Hero's innocent as well.
What?
Then who was in that Robo-Justice suit? Is it like Hero said? Was there really someone running around in a second suit?
The suspicious individual hidden within the suit.
Okay.
Go ahead, Makoto. Tell them who it was.
It was Hero. And of course he passed it off to me.
Say? Who was in the Robo-Justice suit?
The suspicious... It was Hero.
Other than Hero, I can't think of anyone else it could have been. Obviously, he was the one in that particular suit. And we never found any kind of second suit.
Then there can be no doubt. Hero is the prime suspect.
That doesn't make any sense. You just said Hero didn't do it.
It makes perfect sense. Hero was the suspicious individual in the suit, but he's not the culprit.
So what you're saying is...
That's right. The culprit in this case has nothing to do with being in the Robo-Justice suit.
What? Now that's a bold assumption. And what reason do you have to make such a statement? You do have a reason, yes?
Of course. But before we get to that,
Oh my god.
something else we need to clarify first.
Yakuya, stop throwing things at me.
Hey, stop trying to boss us around.
All things have a proper order.
So what is it? What needs to be clarified?
We must clarify the method of transportation for Taka's lifeless body. It would seem that his corpse was moved using certain particular items. Makoto, can you tell us what they were?
They were blue top and the repository.
They were a dolly and a tarp, right?
What's with that attitude?
So, let's see if I can explain. Taka's body disappeared from the equipment room. And then we rediscovered it in the repository. And when we found it for the second time, it was wrapped in a blue tarp, right? It was the same tarp that up until then was stored in the equipment room. So the killer must have seen it there and decided to use it when they moved Taka's body. That way, they wouldn't leave any bloodstains while they were moving it.
Okay, that explains the tar. And the dolly?
Same thing. I'm sure the dolly was in the equipment room when we first found Taka's body there. But when the body disappeared, so did the dolly. Later, when Taka's body reappeared in the repository, so did the dolly.
In other words, you think they use the dolly to move the body. Am I right? But are you sure you are not mistaken? Huh? Are you absolutely positive the dolly was in the equipment room when we found Taka's body? That dolly was made specifically for moving large objects between the repository and the art room. It would be very strange indeed to discover it had made its way to the equipment room. Is it not possible that it was in the repository all along, and you simply didn't realize it?
She's raised an objection. How do you respond?
There is no shame in being wrong, and nobody expects much from you anyway.
Bitch, who exactly solved the last 2 murders?
We have all accepted the fact that you rarely understand what is going on around you.
Wow. I've never had anyone sound so nice while saying something so mean. But maybe I can change my mind. If I can just explain why the dolly must have been moved. A new element. Yeah. Absolutely. Let's talk about reloading. Starting from this next bullet time battle, we're adding one more ingredient into the recipe. At the bottom of the screen, underneath the tempo, you can see your ammo count. Up until now, there wasn't really a limit on how you can destroy your opponent's statements. But from now on, just looking on and pressing the left mouse button won't be enough to handle them. Now it'll cost you 1 bullet to destroy every single remark. Once you run out of bullets, you can't destroy any more statements, no matter how locked on you are. However, you can reload by pressing the tab key. Okay. Oh, phew, I don't have to reload. Thank goodness. Thank goodness I set it to gentle.
You had it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. So pathetic. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. Away with you. You miserable wretch. You had it wrong. I cannot agree. You are a fool. Lies will get you nowhere. Do your worst. You miserable wretch. I cannot agree.
This should prove it.
Haha. Break.
If you're asking for proof that the dolly moved, I have it right here. When I found the dolly in the repository, one of the wheels had a blood stain on it. There was a pool of blood in the equipment room with a tire mark in it that matched the dolly wheel's tread. The killer probably rolled the dolly through the blood on accident as they wheeled the body out of the room. And as the blood dried on the tire, they moved the body into the repository. So there's my proof that the dolly was used to move Taka's body.
What's wrong, Celeste? Jeez, does Celeste hate me that much?
Well, anyway, that was just something we had to get out of the way. Let's get back to the main subject.
Yeah, the subject of how Robo-Justice didn't do it. Because if it's not a killer robot, then what kind of robot is it?
I'm not sure that really matters.
I'd be happy to explain why the occupant of the suit couldn't possibly be the killer.
But you're going to push on to me.
If you look back on how the body was transported, it will become immediately obvious.
What does he mean by that? You can't bend over.
As we know, Taka was killed in the equipment room.
Yes.
And from there, the body was moved to the repository.
Yes.
Yeah, the culprit wrapped the body in the tarp,
Yes.
then loaded it onto the dolly and wheeled it off, right?
Now, keep in mind that the dolly doesn't have a handle.
Well, yeah, but even without a handle, all you'd have to do is bend over.
No, that's wrong.
Break.
You're absolutely right that you could push a dolly without a handle if you stoop down low. But if you were wearing that suit, do you think you could actually get into a position like that?
What do you mean?
Think back to what you said when we were all checking out the suit together. Remember?
I'm as blind as a bat in here. Can't see my feet at all. I'm surprised you got anywhere in this thing. I'm telling you, it wasn't me. And not to mention, you totally can't bend over at the waist. So, seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
When you're in that suit, not only can you not see your feet, but you can't even bend at the waist. Am I right about that?
Now that you mention it, yeah.
It seems like it'd be awfully hard to push that dolly if you couldn't bend over.
Well, what's to stop you from simply pushing the dolly with your feet?
When you can't even see your feet? You really think someone could kick the dolly all that way?
Yeah, it'd be totally impossible. Not that I can say for sure myself.
On top of that, if you were wearing such a rigid, cumbersome suit, it's very unlikely you would have the dexterity to go about wrapping the body in a tarp.
Well, I mean, isn't that just a matter of taking off the suit when you're ready to move the body?
Because once it's on, well,
I got it!
yeah.
I don't think taking off the suit was an option. If you remember,
I don't know what's up with this thing, but I can't actually get it off. A little help. Why would you make something that you can't take off by yourself? I didn't make this stupid freaking thing. There's a clasp on the back that's keeping you from getting it off. It looks pretty sturdy. I don't think you can get it off on your own. We don't have a choice. Let's help them.
That's true. It seems impossible to put the suit on or take it off without help.
Then, you really can't take it off by yourself? Hero wasn't just making it up?
Of course I wasn't making it up.
if he could have gotten it off by himself, I don't think he would have let us see him wearing it. Showing up in the suit was basically an invitation for everyone to suspect it.
Yeah, that's right.
So, it's really, really true that Robo Justice couldn't have moved the dolly?
To be clear, whoever did move the body, it couldn't have been Hero in the robot suit, correct?
No, wait. Just a second, if you please. Have you forgotten about the picture that I took? You all got a good look at it, did you not? The image of Hifumi being dragged away by Robo Justice? If whoever was in that suit is not the culprit, how do you explain that?
Yeah, Celeste doesn't know how to... Okay, here's the thing. Celeste, this is all a gamble for her. And she did this elaborate thing, so it's less of a risk. But, you know, her expertise isn't taking risks, so...
Besides, do you remember what the now deceased Hifumi said?
How did you get hurt? That guy hit me. That guy, Robo Justice Aura. That's why I decided to call him just now.
So long as those facts exist, the proper conclusion is beyond question. The individuals inside the suit and the culprit are one and the same. It was Hero, without a doubt. Yeah, that's gotta be right.
Hold on a second.
It's still far too early to reach that conclusion. Besides, there's no hurry to decide who did it before we rush to a verdict. Shouldn't we explore every single possibility instead of seizing on one viewpoint? The truth is uncovered by analyzing things from every angle.
Perhaps, but where do we go from here?
Let's review this series of unfortunate events from the beginning. Maybe we'll uncover something new.
What a pain in the ass!
I don't disagree, but our lives are on the line. If this is what it takes, we have to do it.
Plus, maybe we'll get to find out where the heck Kyoko was when everything went down.
All right then, let's take another look back at what happened. I suppose we could start with this morning. 4 of us gathered together in the dining hall. Makoto, Hina, Kyoko, and myself. We waited there for quite a while, but nobody else showed up, so we went to look for everyone. That was around 8 a.m.
And as soon as we split up, Kyoko went missing.
Soon after that, Hina found Celeste in the rec room and quickly came to get Makoto and me.
It seems I was unconscious for about an hour after I was attacked by my mystery assailant. I know it was an hour because I remember being attacked a little after 7.
That was when we saw Celeste's picture and discovered that her assailant had been wearing a strange costume. As it turns out, it was Robo-Justice. It also soon became clear that this same Robo-Justice had abducted Hifumi. We were soon joined in our search by Byakuya and Toko, and then went on to find Hifumi in the library. He was injured, so we took him to the nurse's office and resumed our search for the suspect. But not long after leaving the nurse's office...
What's wrong? I saw a shadow. Something moved around at the top of the stairs.
When Celeste told us that, we decided to split up and search the 2nd floor. And soon after that,
I saw someone moving around on the 3rd floor, and I yelled out to everyone as soon as I did.
Celeste, what's wrong? That's a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, that strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I tried looking in the stairs, so he fell into the hallway and disappeared.
and then,
Oh yeah! What was that? They came from downstairs. That must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad, come on.
at that point we decided to divide up into 2 groups. Celeste, Hina, and I went back to the nurse's office.
Yeah.
Sakura, Byakuya, and Toko chased after the suspect. When we got back to the nurse's office, we found Hifumi, dead. And that's when we heard the body discovery announcement. I left Celeste and Hina there and headed back to the 3rd floor to let the others know what had happened.
Meanwhile, we had just discovered Taka's body in the equipment room. We must have found both bodies at almost exactly the same time, because we heard the same announcement not long after we discovered his body.
And that's when I told you guys about Hifumi. Then the 3 of us headed for the nurse's office. But right after we left the physics lab, we ran into Celeste, who'd arrived after us. And she told us something very surprising.
Hifumi's body has disappeared.
We rushed back to the nurse's office and saw that she was right.
Then we remembered we'd left Toko passed out in the equipment room, so we hurried back again.
This can't be happening. Are we hallucinating this or something?
But when we got there, we discovered that now Taka's body had also gone missing. Next thing we knew, we were searching the school for 2 missing dead bodies. And after some time...
Celeste informed us that she'd found the bodies, and we all headed to the repository, which is where we rediscovered the corpses.
I think that about covers it.
I see. The whole thing sounds exceptionally complicated. It certainly seems to me that these are not a simple series of connected events.
Okay, well, if that's true, then what?
Rather than a single series of events, I think we have to consider each murder a separate situation. And from there, we can uncover the contradictions surrounding all of them. Now then, let's get started, beginning with what happened to Taka.
Contradictions hidden in what happened to Taka. In order to uncover the truth in this case, I have to find them no matter what. Make your argument.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last.
What makes you say that?
Because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See?
Okay, let me just check how do I absorb my bullets. Because I seem to have forgotten. Okay. Silencer. Select truth bullet. Fast forward. Left mouse hand button. Aim. How do I?
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed in. Taka came last
What makes you say that?
because of the numbering of the Justice Hammers.
Okay.
It's true that Hifumi was killed with Justice Hammer 3, while Taka's death came from a swing of Justice Hammer 4.
See? So it's obvious Taka came after.
So, regarding Taka's death, I wonder if he died before Hifumi, or perhaps it was after?
We already know what order they were killed.
There we go. So I have to press and hold. Got it. Mental reminder.
Hold on. There's no reason to assume that the hammers were used in the same order as their numbers. If anything, that's just another way the killer tried to disguise their actions.
So you're saying the culprit wanted us to think the hammers were used in order, but in reality Taka was killed before Hifumi? Okay then, let's see the proof.
Oh gosh. Handman's Gambit. Good thing we know the answer to this one this time. Wrist. What? There we go. Wristwatch.
Now I understand.
Complete. Okay.
I've got it. Taka's wristwatch. See? Look. It broke with the hands pointing just past 6 o'clock.
It must have gotten broken when he was attacked by the killer, because as of last night...
Hey, you! How long were you going to keep us waiting? Taka's irritating voice pierced the air as he said pointedly at his wristwatch. It's almost 10 o'clock, you know that? Bedtime for all the little boys and girls.
So if it wasn't broken after 6 last night, then he must have been attacked around 6 this morning.
And that would be his official time of death.
But if that's true, then he was killed well before Hifumi.
And before Celeste was attacked this morning, which happened around 7.
That's right. Taka was killed before any of the other incidents took place.
That simple fact slipped past all of us. We made the wrong assumption about the order of events, all because of those Justice Hammers.
That's exactly why the culprit wrote the numbers on each hammer and had them increase in size. That way, when we saw how they were used in each incident, we'd easily make that wrong assumption.
Now, if Taka was killed around 6, then everyone's alibis for his murder go out the window. Because when he was killed, we hadn't met up in the dining hall yet.
That may be true in the case of Taka's murder, but all of our alibis still hold true for Hifumi's death.
That's right. With him, at least, we're all safe.
What was that? They came from downstairs. There must have been Hifumi. He's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
When we heard Hifumi screaming, we were all together. Except for Hiro and Kyoko. Then we all ran down to the nurse's office, and that's where we found his body. That's totally true. We're all in the clear.
Oh, I know! They must have recorded him screaming on a tape or something, then played it later on.
If that's true, where's the tape?
I don't know.
Don't just go making stuff up.
Anyway, we all have rock-solid alibis for when we heard Hifumi scream. Since all of us were there together, clearly none of us could have killed him.
And it does not stop there. There was also the moment when we discovered his body had disappeared. When his body vanished from the nurse's office, Hina and I were in the bathroom together, while everyone else was in the equipment room, correct? And then there's the disappearance of Taka's body from the equipment room. At that time, we were all gathered together in the nurse's office because of Hifumi going missing. Well, don't forget, I was passed out in the equipment room the whole time.
Wait, then what if Genocide Jill did it? She could have dragged Taka's body out of there right then.
Even if she could pull that off, there's no way she could have done the same with Hifumi's body. Because, as we just established, she was passed out in the equipment room when his body disappeared.
Besides, I didn't do either of them anyway. In other words, it is impossible that any of us could have killed Hifumi or moved either of their bodies. On the other hand, Hiro and...
So what now, Kyoko?
For now, we can't get fixated on who did it, or we'll just keep going around in circles. So instead of who, I propose we start talking about how. In particular, I think we need to figure out how Hifumi's body got moved.
That's true. We searched everywhere, but we couldn't figure out how to explain his body disappearing. And according to what Celeste said...
We cannot have been gone for more than a minute or two, though. So then the killer was able to get in and move Hifumi's body in that short amount of time? It would seem so.
His body apparently disappeared in the 1 minute her and Hina took their eyes off of it. But to carry that much weight from the first floor up to the third in that short amount of time?
Oh man, yeah! There's no way! It'd be impossible!
Well, what if I told you there was a way to make the impossible possible?
What? How?
If the dead body were to move itself.
Huh?
The dead body moved on its own?
No! Not another...
I don't think it has anything to do with the occult. I think what she's implying is, we thought Hifumi was dead, but perhaps in reality he was still alive.
He was alive?
Are you saying Hifumi wasn't carried out of the nurse's office, but simply walked out on his own?
But I mean, we found his body. He was dead.
Perhaps he was simply playing dead.
But it isn't possible.
Oh? Are you getting a little nervous, Celeste? The idea that Hifumi was still alive. Is it really possible?
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you've heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found. And that is why the announcement was made.
Are we really so sure about that? Maybe the announcement was intended to signal someone else's discovery.
Are you saying that when we first found Hifumi in the nurse's office, there's a chance he was actually still alive?
No, it is impossible. Hifumi was dead, without a doubt.
And you know that how?
Surely you've heard the body discovery announcement along with the rest of us. Hifumi's dead body had been found.
No, that's wrong. Was the body discovery announcement that was made really intended for Hifumi?
Of course it was. The announcement played right after we discovered his body.
Maybe. But that was also the same time that Taka's body was found.
That's right. It wasn't long after finding his body that we heard the announcement.
So there's a good chance we made a mistake in there somewhere. I think we've confused whether the announcement was for Hifumi or Taka.
First of all, if 2 bodies had been found, there really should have been 2 announcements.
Maybe Monokuma simply got lazy and rolled them together into one.
Yep, she's incriminating herself so much.
Hey, Monokuma, any comment?
Well, it's a very sensitive issue, so I can't go into too much detail. But what I can say about the body discovery announcement is that it's only broadcast when 3 or more people find a dead body for the first time.
That didn't answer our question, man. We're asking if you're a lazy bum.
No, actually, that was plenty. He said it's only broadcast when a body is discovered for the first time. Which means, even if we find the same body again later, he won't make the announcement again. If that's true, then why was the announcement made again later on?
Huh? Later on?
Exactly. We heard the body discovery announcement twice.
The second body discovery announcement. The first was played when we found each body in the nurse's office and the equipment room. The second was when both bodies were rediscovered.
We heard it a second time in the repository, when we rediscovered the 2 bodies.
Ding dong, ding dong. A body has been discovered. After a certain amount of time, which you may use however you like, a class trial will begin.
It didn't seem weird at the time, but it contradicts what Monokuma just told us, doesn't it?
Exactly. If we were actually rediscovering both bodies, the announcement shouldn't have played.
And in reality, when the 2 dead bodies were rediscovered, one of them was actually being discovered for the first time.
So, when we found Hifumi the first time in the nurse's office, he wasn't actually dead yet. Meaning, he wasn't actually found dead until we came upon him in the repository.
And that's just part of it. There's one other thing that leads me to believe he was still alive in the nurse's office.
Oh, I know! Because he was super good at playing dead! Bada bing, bada boom! That is the worst logic I have ever heard. But honestly, I do not think there's anything that can prove he was still alive.
Okay then, let's take another look at the events surrounding the discovery of his body. Then it should become clear whether he was really alive or not.
This whole thing is pointless.
Oh, getting a little nervous, Celeste? Hifumi's glasses.
Well, here's one thing we do know. The first time we found Hifumi's body was in the nurse's office. And then, while me and Celeste were in the bathroom, his body disappeared.
Right.
And the next time we saw his body, it was in the repository.
But when you compare his body before being moved and his body after being moved, other than the change in how it was positioned, there was no notable difference.
Wrong.
No, that's wrong.
The ghost of Mondo's brother's back. What's an ice cream truck?
In fact, there was one clear difference between
Oh, that's great.
and the repository. His glasses. That fact alone proves that he was only playing dead in the beginning.
Perhaps you'd like to fill the rest of us in?
When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, his glasses were covered with blood. But when we found him again later in the repository, they were spotless. And I found the item he used to wipe them clean in the nurse's office trash can.
Was glasses cleaning
I got it!
cloth.
It was a glasses cleaning featuring a certain cartoon mascot. One look at the bloodstain on the cloth should make things clear. This piece of cloth was used to wipe Hifumi's glasses clean, and the mascot on the cloth is the same one that's on the digital camera, right? And whose digital camera was it? Hifumi's, of course.
The character was Princess Piddles from Demon Angel Pretty Pudgy Princess, I think.
I highly doubt anyone but Hifumi would have brought something like this to school.
I see your point. And the only people here who wear glasses are...
I wouldn't be caught dead using a tech garbage like that.
Oof.
A few tissues is all I need to keep my glasses clean.
Then there's no question. It belonged to Hifumi.
So what you're saying is... What exactly?
What I'm saying is, the blood on his glasses was wiped away using his own glasses cleaning cloth.
Even if that is true, it does not mean he wiped the blood off himself.
But who would benefit from a clean pair of glasses other than the glasses owner?
That's a good point.
And it must have been him, right?
So let's assume that Hifumi was still alive in the nurse's office. He pretends to be dead. Then when he's alone, he wipes his glasses clean so he can see. Then he stands up and walks out on his own 2 feet. And with that, the impossible task of moving his copious corpse becomes possible, wouldn't you say?
But then, if he was just pretending to be dead, what was with all that blood? Was it paint or something?
The fridge in the nurse's office contains packs of blood for emergencies. He probably used one of those.
He figured if he was gonna play dead, he should go all out. So he just dumped it everywhere. But he got crazy with it and had to wipe his glasses off when he was done. God, what an idiot!
And if Hifumi was still alive at that point, the disappearance of Taka's body is easily explained. It should be perfectly obvious who must have moved Taka's corpse.
Was Hifumi.
It could only have been Hifumi.
While we were all gathered in the nurse's office, he went to the equipment room and took Taka's body.
That also explains how the door to the repository got locked.
The door was locked? Well, after the bodies disappeared, we all went looking for them, right? So me and Sakura headed for the repository. But when we got there, the door was locked.
And the repository door can only be locked from the inside. Which means, when Hina and Sakura got to the repository, someone was already inside.
And it could only have been Hifumi, who just finished stashing Taka's body there.
He convinced us all he was dead, and when he saw his chance, he dragged Taka's body to the repository. So, Hifumi wasn't just another victim in this case. He was one of the assailants.
Oh, dang.
But that means he took part in the murders.
I just can't believe it.
Well, he was jealous of the alter ego.
If you're having trouble, would you like me to show you one more piece of evidence?
There's more?
Oh, absolutely. The single biggest fact pointing to his involvement has yet to be revealed. You know what I'm talking about, right, Makoto? The item he took off of Taka's lifeless body?
It was the note.
I got it! You're talking about the note Hifumi had hidden away, aren't you?
Hidden note?
That's right. We found it stuffed in his pants.
What? In his pants?
Yes, his pants.
Okay, well, forget about the pants for now. Take a look at what the note says.
I found the hole maybe we can use to escape. Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet up in the equipment room at 6 a.m.
That's the note I was telling you about. The one that told me where to go. Huh? Wait, this one's a little different. In my note it said, Monokuma can't find out, so don't tell anyone else for now. Let's meet in the rec room at 1 a.m.
I see. Then this note isn't the same one Hiro got.
It's not the same?
In other words, the killer got in touch with another person besides Hiro, and that person could only have been...
Taka.
I got it! That's right! Taka! The killer used this note to draw out Taka and murder him.
Hello? Over here! Objection! Objection! I don't really understand what's going on, but Hifumi had that letter, right? So whoever wrote it wasn't drawing out TikTok, they were drawing out Huffy! Just to be clear, TikTok is Taka and Huffy is Hifumi, right? Oh, yes! Why must you ruin it every time?
Man, Genocide Jack is seriously scary, but still, I still can't let it get to me.
Huffy had the note, right? Then the person it was intended for must have been Huffy!
But remember what the note said. What time did it say to meet?
6 a.m., I believe.
The time doesn't matter! The note has nothing to do with TikTok!
No, that's wrong. No, there absolutely is a connection.
What the hell are you talking about?
The note said to meet at 6 a.m., which is the same time Taka was murdered. You've already proven that using his wristwatch, but there's more. Look where the note says to meet. The equipment room, right?
Which is where Taka was killed. I see.
So, Taka was murdered at both the time and place written in the note. I think that should be plenty to show that this note was definitely meant for Taka.
Well, when you put it like that. No further objections!
Then someone used that note to trick Taka. Just the same as me. The culprit really is a cold-blooded monster. Telling people they found a way out.
But if they gave the note to Taka, what was Hifumi doing with it? Stuffed down his pants, no less!
Most likely. Hifumi stole it off Taka's corpse after he died.
Huh? He stole it?
Where's your proof? Go ahead, show us.
That would be Kiyotaka's scrap of paper.
I got it! When I searched Taka's body, I saw that his lifeless hand was gripping a small scrap of paper. If I'm right about this, the sheet of paper this piece came from is... I knew it! It fits perfectly with the note we found hidden on Hifumi.
When Taka's scrap and Hifumi's note.
Yup, they're from the same piece of paper.
Hifumi had the note meant for Taka, while Taka's corpse still grasped a small piece of that note. There's only one way to explain it.
Taka died clutching the note. Hifumi tried to free the note from its death grip, leaving behind only one small scrap. Did I get all that right?
That means Hifumi knew the note was important.
Exactly. Which proves that he was an accomplice in the murder.
Whoa. Yeah. After seeing all this, Hifumi was super involved in this whole thing for sure. In fact, he was behind the whole thing. In fact, he's still alive.
Sorry, no. When we found him in the repository, Hifumi was truly and completely dead. The second body discovery announcement proves that.
So then, who killed Hifumi?
Whoever did is the mastermind, the true killer.
He was killed in the repository. So he must have been killed not long after transporting Taka's body.
So, he must have been killed after Taka's body vanished, but before we found both bodies in the repository.
During that time, we'd all split up and were searching for Taka's missing body. In other words, during that time, none of us have alibis.
Wait, but me and Sakura were together. Stop trying to steal the spotlight, you stupid walrus! Who are you calling a walrus?
Anyway, ever killed bothers me too. But there's something that's been bothering me even more.
And what might that be?
The weapon they used to kill Hifumi.
The weapon?
Yeah, because I mean, according to the Monokuma file, the way Taka and Hifumi were killed was almost the same, with them having similar fractures and all. But Justice Hammer 3 and 4 were still laying around in the nurse's office and equipment room, right? So if Hifumi was killed in the repository, the culprit would have had to grab one of the hammers, kill Hifumi, then put the hammer back where they found it. But wouldn't that be seriously risky for him?
I'm surprised. It seems there's some semblance of a brain walking around that skull of yours after all.
Ouch.
Hell yeah, it's packed in there good and tight.
He's right, though. I don't understand it either.
Does put the hammer.
Monokuma file makes it clear that they were killed using similar instruments. But if the hammers were already laying around those other rooms...
So the question is, how could the culprit have gotten their hands on either of the hammers? Personally, I haven't a clue.
Oh, I'm sure you don't.
So which hammer was used to attack Celeste? Number 1 or number 2?
Those were accounted for in other rooms too. And I don't think either one is big enough to kill someone.
Then...
Is it not possible they used a different weapon?
I don't think it is possible. They were both killed with the same kind of thing, right?
So then, what was used to kill Hifumi?
I know. Spotless hammer, yeah.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3?
No.
Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
No.
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it? Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance!
Okay, no, that's not it.
What was used to kill Hifumi? Was it Justice Hammer 3? Maybe Justice Hammer 4?
No.
Well, whatever it was, there's one thing we have to figure out. How was the culprit able to move around so freely with the weapon? How did nobody witness them carrying it? Sounds like a Justice Hammer 5 is about to make its appearance! Check out murdergear.com/hammertime for more info!
Well, one thing seems pretty clear. The murder weapon had to be one of the Justice Hammers.
Is this it? Yes, there we go.
The murder weapon wasn't a Justice Hammer at all. No, it was something completely different.
But, seriously? A different weapon?
Specifically, a hammer from the repository. The killer could have easily used that to kill Hifumi. Now, all the hammers in the repository were covered in flecks of great debris.
Makoto's still vibrating.
But for some reason, one of them had been scrubbed clean. And the reason it had been scrubbed clean was most likely because it was used to commit murder. If the hammer got covered in Hifumi's blood, of course they'd have to clean it off. I'd also like to point out that the repository has all kinds of hammers. Big ones, small ones, and even some flat mallet-like ones. I think whoever made the Justice Hammers used those as a basis for their design.
If that's true, that would explain the Monokuma file's note about the wounds being similar.
So Hifumi moved Taka's body to the repository, where someone then used a hammer to kill him.
Whoever did that was the true killer. The one Hifumi was working with. And the one who betrayed him. Hold on a moment. I still think it's strange to assume someone was working together with him. The way the graduation rule works, there is no benefit to helping someone else carry out a murder. So the idea that anyone would work simply ludicrous. We talked about this, did we not?
We did talk about how there wouldn't be any reason for anyone to work together. At least that's what we thought first, but...
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it is simply impossible that two people work together on this.
That is how the rule was explained to us.
But that only really applies if there's one murder, right? In this case, however, there were two murders.
Based on the rules that have been laid out for us, even if more than one person is complicit in the murder, only the one who actually carried out the act can graduate and survive. Assuming the rule holds true, it... No, that's wrong!
Since there were two murders, it's at least plausible that more than one person was involved.
What do you mean?
If there'd only been one murder, then yes, the idea of an accomplice isn't really worth considering. Naturally, if only one person can be saved per murder, an accomplice has no risk versus reward benefit.
Risk versus reward benefit?
The payoff for working together. The reward that balances out the risk of taking part in the scheme. There's no point in being someone's accomplice if there's no benefit to you. However, if there were some potential mutual reward for the risk, then cooperation becomes possible.
You're saying that two people could act as each other's accomplices to commit two separate murders.
I think that's what the true killer told Hifumi. They would each have an accomplice for their crime. Based on the case's events, Hifumi would have been the first one to act, murdering Taka. They made him carry out the first murder so he couldn't back out of helping them later on.
So in this case, there wasn't one single person committing multiple murders. Instead, each person killed someone, creating two separate incidents. And it only looked like one person because that's how the true killer designed it to look. A single suspicious individual, a similar weapon used in each crime, disappearing bodies.
Oh, ha ha.
A single set of circumstances, they made it look like one person was behind it all.
Why do I smell apples?
The mastermind picked their target and managed to convince him to go along.
I must
with
be
the
hungry.
plan. And then, to avoid the no accomplices rule, they simply killed their accomplice. Which, if true, means that betraying Hifumi was part of the plan from the very beginning.
You know, my humble servant, you really shouldn't complain considering I'm the one who gave form to you. Are we clear?
That's just awful! How could anyone be so cruel?
Hi!
You think so? I can't help but admire its cunning. Still, their choice of accomplice seems odd.
The effort made to convince us that the two murders were at the same time. That was the main characteristic this time. Kyoko must have noticed this fact from the very beginning. Which is why she said not to look at this as a series of connected events, but entirely separate incidents. Kyoko really is amazing, although, when you think about it, she's almost too amazing. Like, it's almost unnatural how good she is at this.
I understand how an accomplice could be involved. But then, who was the one pulling Hifumi's strings?
That's problem numero uno right now!
With the debates up until now, the way the case has been unfolded, when you consider it at all, there's really only one person that that seems to fit. That would be Celeste.
Here's my answer. It was Celeste.
Ah, so I'm the suspicious suspicious individual now. I really do hate this kind of joke.
A joke? I wonder.
Uh-oh. 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 Someone's catching on to you, Celeste. What are you going to do about it?
So what you are saying, then, is that I specifically chose to work together with Hifumi.
Yeah.
The idea that I would choose to spend any amount of time interacting with him, that I would go within 10 feet of that shit-brain, that lazy, worthless goddamn idiot! Pardonnez-moi.
Just to be clear, there is evidence to support it.
Is that so?
It is. Throughout the investigation, there was certain behavior that was common only to the two of you. Considering what we've learned so far, it only further proves that the two of you were working together.
Encountering the suspicious individual.
The behavior they had in common has to do with the suspicious individual in the suit, doesn't it? The only ones who ever actually saw Robo-Justice firsthand were Celeste and Hifumi.
Shush. The adults are talking now.
Sorry.
As he said, only Celeste and Hifumi ever laid eyes on the costumed individual.
I was the one who was saying there was Celeste the whole time, so I don't see why you're claiming to be the genius in this.
If we accept that Hifumi was one of the culprits, we can't help but suspect what Celeste has said as well.
Are you saying everything they told us was a lie?
After taking Hifumi to the nurse's office, we all began our search for this individual, correct?
Oh, about the suit. Well, I mean, it was kind of obvious after, you know, Hero ended up locked in a lockout the entire time. I did say that I don't think it was Hero though, so I don't see why you're like,
And not too long after that, do you remember what Celeste said?
And he wasn't teleporting. He was just making it up. She was just making it up.
We headed to the second floor specifically because of what she claimed to have seen. Next, to draw us all to the physics lab up on the third floor,
She let out a blood-curdling scream.
and when we'd all come to see what was wrong, what was it she said?
That's a rather intense scream for someone like you. I saw him, the strange costumed man. He ran off as soon as I screamed. I was walking up the stairs, and he headed further down into the hallway and disappeared.
Once she'd done her job of getting us all up to the physics lab, it was time for her partner to get to work.
Huh? What was that? I came from downstairs. That must have been... Hifumi, he's in the nurse's office. This is bad. Come on, we have to go back.
It was to get us to divide into two groups, so that we would discover both bodies at the same time?
In fact, Celeste was precisely the one who proposed that we split up.
Then why don't we split into two groups? I'll lead the hunting party. That seems much more interesting. Well then, Makoto and Hina, you come with me to the nurse's office. I'll leave the capture of the suspicious individual to Toko, Byakuya, and Sakura.
Well, if Celeste and Hifumi were working together, all those chance events suddenly become connected. And on top of that, that piercing cry of yours early on. That was to signal Hifumi, wasn't it? It was your way of telling him, we're on the third floor. Everything's going according to plan. Why else would you let out a scream that could have carried across the sea?
I just realized another strange thing. When we found Hifumi in the nurse's office, who we now know was only pretending to be dead.
I was certainly not expecting this. I did not imagine that Hifumi would be murdered.
Celeste, you were the first one to say he'd been murdered. You wanted to make sure we wouldn't have any doubt in our minds.
I don't believe it. Everything, the whole thing was one big act.
Hina, you were with Celeste when Hifumi's body disappeared, right?
Yeah. I was feeling kind of sick, so Celeste took me to the bathroom. Wait! Then that was...
She wasn't worried about you. She just saw a chance to help Hifumi sneak out of the nurse's office.
Each piece isn't much by itself, but start putting them together and the picture gets very ugly indeed.
Interesting.
Would you agree, Celeste?
I have no idea what you mean.
Don't bother trying to deny it. You made one fatal mistake.
Oh, did I?
I didn't even catch it myself when you first said it, but looking back, I can say that that one little slip-up was your undoing.
What are you talking about?
I'm talking about what you said after Hifumi's body disappeared and we returned to the nurse's office.
They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. We're all going to die here. We're all going to die just like those guys did.
I remember her saying that too, but I don't understand what's so strange about it.
Then pay attention. Sakura, Toko, and I were first to discover Taka's body in the equipment room. Then Makoto showed up and told us Hifumi had been killed. So Sakura and I left with Makoto. Once we were in the hall, we ran into Celeste, and the four of us headed to the nurse's office. Now, the entire time we were together, none of us said anything about Taka being dead. Think about it. Celeste's comment doesn't make sense. It was completely out of place.
Yeah, I see what you're talking about. Although I don't really get what it means.
It means that she knew preemptively that it was a double murder, quote unquote.
You hear that, Celeste? Everyone's having some trouble understanding. Could you repeat what you said? If you're really not the culprit, you shouldn't have any problem repeating it, right?
Byakuya said that Celeste's comment didn't make sense. But what is he alluding to? Make your argument.
All I said was... They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like those guys died. And that is all I said.
And that's all it takes to finish this. It's obvious, isn't it, what was so strange about Celeste's comment?
All I said was... They must really be enjoying this. Enjoying the sight of us standing around, frightened and confused. They must be positively elated. We are all going to die here. We are going to die, just like...
Bingo. Yep, if she is trying to swim her way out of the situation, it seems like gamble didn't pay off.
Right. There's no reason Celeste should have said, just like those guys died. When she said that, none of us had told her Taka was dead.
Exactly. And we didn't run into her until after we were all out in the hall. There was never any chance for her to have seen his body in the equipment room for herself.
So how did you know, Celeste? How did you know more than one person had been killed? And how did you know they were both guys? Because Kyoko had also disappeared, right? So she could have been dead too.
You all have such vivid imaginations. You know that?
Imaginations?
You claim that I was lying when I told you about the suspicious person I saw. Then what about the picture I took? How do you explain this picture of the costumed villain dragging Hifumi away?
It has to be some kind of setup, right? So let's put the suit on. And then she used the camera's timer to set up the picture.
Have you so quickly forgotten? You are the only one who could have possibly fit into that suit. Plus, I happen to know that this particular camera does not have a timer. In other words, it is an unassailable fact that this is a picture of Hifumi being dragged away. If everything I told you was a lie, how can this picture exist?
Simple. Are we sure that's really a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away?
What could you possibly mean by that?
Surely there are other explanations than the one you've offered up.
No, there is no other explanation.
Wow, you seem very certain, Celeste. Other explanations? If it wasn't a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away, it's dragging.
I got it! It's not a picture of the suspect dragging Hifumi away. I would say it's a picture of Hifumi dragging the suspect away.
That's certainly within the realm of possibility. The one being dragged off in that picture isn't Hifumi, but the person in the robot suit. We've simply been led to believe that it's the other way around. And the strange costume might only exist to lead us astray even farther. If you saw someone wearing something like that in this situation, of course you'd notice and be suspicious.
That's what happened! You put me to sleep and made me out to be the bad guy in all this!
Such a thing is utterly impossible. Hifumi was dragging him away? Ridiculous.
Why? Why is it ridiculous?
Is it? I don't think it's ridiculous at all.
Then shut your mouth and allow me to educate you.
Celeste thinks she can prove that there's no way that Hifumi was dragging the suspect away. But is that really possible?
You dressed me up in that suit after I passed out! Then you just draped me across Hifumi and had him carry my weight! You tried to make me look like the bad guy!
Like I said, ridiculous. As you can see in the picture, the suspect is standing perfectly upright. If the person inside the suit was unconscious, there's no way they could stand up straight.
Wrong.
No, that's wrong. No. Even if the person inside the suit were unconscious, they could still stand up like that, because that Robo-Justice suit had a certain characteristic.
You totally can't bend it at the waist. Seems like a pretty obvious oversight.
That's right! They totally made a mistake when they made it, so it couldn't bend at the waist.
I'm not so sure that was a mistake. I think the suit was designed from the beginning to be used the way it was.
Whoops.
Celeste and Hifumi took the suit they'd specially designed and stuffed Hiro into it. That's how they were able to fake that whole thing. The point of it all was to make us believe whoever was in the suit was to blame.
Well then, I suppose this is checkmate.
Don't make me laugh, you idiot! What do you mean, checkmate? Celeste?
Uh-oh.
Clearly, you want to cram me into your little guilty box. Well, there's one little problem. Have you already forgotten what Hifumi told us as he lay dying?
Hey, Hifumi, who was it? Who attacked you? Who tried to kill you? Who killed me? That's right, I remember the name. Yeah, Yasu.
When we asked him who had attacked him, his answer was quite clear, was it not? He said, and I quote, Yasuhiro. In other words, Yasuhiro Kagakure!
Right! But my name isn't really Yasuhiro! It's actually Taro!
Your confusing statements don't make any sense. You're only making things more complicated.
Ludenberg.
He did
Well,
say Yasuhiro.
fake
Are
name.
you sure he was really pointing the finger at Hiro?
What the hell are you talking about? I'll burn you alive!
Kyoko, what do you mean by that?
Well, we don't know what Celeste's, or rather Celestia Ludenberg's true name is.
Think back to how Hifumi used to talk to us. How did he refer to each of us?
He used people's last names.
I got it! That's right! Our last names! He called us all by our last names!
Like Mr. Naegi, Miss whatever,
Exactly.
Miss Ludenberg.
I know I heard him say Mr. Naegi more than once, for example. So if Hifumi did mean to say Hiro's name, he would have said his last name, Hagakure.
I'm sure it was just incidental. By chance, his first name. Indecent?
Don't talk.
Don't talk.
Random chance. Now isn't that a convenient explanation? No. There's no reason to think he would have said the name any different than normal. But he must have run out of energy before he could say any more.
So Hifumi was trying to tell us the last name of whoever killed him?
But the name he said doesn't apply to anyone here.
Well, no. Hold on. There's one person it could apply to.
Celeste.
That's Celeste. She never actually told us what her real name is.
What did you just say? To think you take your false accusation so far, I don't know whether to laugh or spit. Come on! Enough with your idiotic blather. Yasuhiro is a loser's name. Do I look like a loser to you? No? Do I? What? I think I've earned the right to be a little on edge.
Okay, then fill us in. What's your real name?
Make sure your ear holes are wide open and listen up! My real name is Celestia Ludenberg. Could you please stop making me repeat myself over and over again?
Celeste still won't give up. Then I'll have to do something to make her accept it.
Hifumi was trying to tell us something.
We have to use her e-handbook.
Know the killer's last name. Yasuhiro.
If there's one person here who might have that last name,
It would have to be you, Celeste. You haven't told anyone what your real name is.
Her real name would be on her e-handbook.
I have to tell you. My name is Celestia Ludenberg! God damn it!
How long do you plan to go on pretending?
I'm not pretending. It's the truth. And since you have no way to...
No, that's wrong. That's it. The handbook.
What?
Anytime you turn your handbook on, it shows the owner's name when it boots up, right? Monokuma told us all about it before.
This handbook is absolutely vital for a healthy skill life, so don't lose it! When you start it up, it will display your name. Always make sure you have the right one! Now, this is not your everyday notebook. It has so many more uses than that.
So all we have to do is check her handbook, and that'll clear up everything. That's how we can find out Celeste's real name.
That's an invasion of privacy. I refuse to cooperate.
Celeste, can you please just tell us what really happened? Please, just tell us.
Even when I'm put in check, it's just my nature not to give up. Because until the game's over, you never know what might happen.
Fine then. Let me settle it. Let me go over the case again, from the beginning, and shed light on all your crimes. And that'll bring everything to an end.
Closing argument. Okay. Wait. Okay, let's try this. Act 2. Wait, no. We want this. Okay, this would be this. Yes. Oh wow, Kiyotaka looks really cool in that. Wait, this doesn't seem right. Okay. Hifumi's facing. Okay. Then. Act 2, clock. Yeah, so hero, killer holding the camera. Watch. Bloody Justice Hammer 4. Yeah, because that's how they were killed. But Justice Hammer 2. Bloody Justice Hammer 3. Because that's just plain hammer. Hifumi pushing the dolly. Hammer.
Here's exactly what happened. Before anything, the killer persuaded someone to help carry out the murder. And that person was...
They look very similar, so I had to use a bit of a reference to help.
Hifumi. With an accomplice, the killer was able to execute a number of otherwise impossible schemes. First, they convinced someone to meet them in the rec room last night at 1 in the morning. That someone they met with was Hiro. The murderous duo intended to pass Hiro off as the prime suspect. So what? They drugged him, knocked him out, and stuffed him into the Robo-Justice suit. Next, Hifumi positioned himself to make it look like Robo-Justice was attacking him.
Celeste the loser.
The killer used a digital camera to take pictures of the assault. They did all this just to create evidence that would put the suspicion on Hiro. When they were done with him, they shoved him, still unconscious, into the pool room locker. And then finally, at 6 a.m., they moved into the murder phase of their plan.
Can I say just how cool Taka looks in that panel?
They called Taka to the equipment room. And that's where Hifumi killed him, making it the scene of the first murder. The murder weapon was Justice Hammer 4, which was left there in the equipment room.
Yeah, poor Taka.
The reason Hammer number 4 was used was to create confusion about the order of the crimes.
Taka didn't deserve this.
So, next they falsified 2 more assaults.
Sorry, we got to the part where the wife who commits the murder, so
For these attacks,
what can we do?
the killers pretended to be the victims to solidify Robo-Justice as the suspect. The first fake incident was the attack in the rec room. There, the killers wanted us to see Justice Hammer 1 and the Robo-Justice pictures they'd taken. They wanted to make sure we bought the surprise attack story. The second fake incident was the attack in the library. This time, they planted Justice Hammer 2 and an injured Hifumi to sell us that story. With these 2 incidents, the killers were able to create a certain preconception in our minds that the suspect was increasing the size of the hammers and attacking people in order as they did. We fell right into their trap and started looking for the suspect based on that. But while we did that, we left Hifumi alone in the nurse's office. This was exactly what Hifumi was hoping for. He took a blood packet from the refrigerator and Justice Hammer 3 and turned the room into a crime scene in which he himself had apparently been brutally murdered. He let out a scream to draw us back, and when we returned, that's what we found.
Oh god, imagining Celestia bold is a bit strange.
Meanwhile, the other group that had been out searching found Taka's body at the same time. So when we heard the body discovery announcement, we naturally assumed it was for Hifumi. We left the nurse's office, and Hifumi once again took advantage of the situation. He simply got up and made his escape. When we learned his body had disappeared, we all rushed back to the nurse's office, and once again, Hifumi had the chance he was waiting for. This time, he snuck into the equipment room. He wrapped Taka's body in a tarp and used the dolly to move it all the way down to the repository. That explains how each of the bodies disappeared. But even Hifumi didn't know what the true killer had in mind for their final act. Their plan all along was to kill Hifumi and get rid of the one person who could betray them. And they did it using an ordinary, everyday hammer from the repository. That should cover everything that happened in this case. And the villain behind it all is...
You, Celeste. Oh, nice frame, very shiny.
Celeste. Sorry, you lose.
Complete.
I lost? When was the last time I was forced to utter such words? They hang heavy around my neck.
Then you admit it? You're the killer?
Listen to you, trying to take charge, as if you're my private instructor. I, Celestia Ludenberg. Actually, no, Taiko Yasuhiro is fine.
Taiko?
So, you finally accepted it.
I'm the kind of person, once I've lost, I don't like things to drag on.
Is it weird that I actually prefer her without the accent? Like, without the fake accent? Like, her voice is a lot nicer without the accent.
Interesting.
It's kind of weird. Hey. 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 It's your boy. I should stop that.
Okay, Monokuma. I'm ready to begin. Or, no, I suppose this is the end, isn't it?
It is indeed the moment we've all been waiting for. Time to vote. Okay? Okay. If you would, please locate your lever and cast your vote. And when the votes are tallied, who will become the blackened? Will you make the right choice or the dreadfully wrong one? What's it gonna be? What's it gonna be?
Well. It's basically a formality at this point, but once again you are totally correct. The blackened this time The true killer who devised the whole stinking scheme was Celestia Ludenberg. Or, more precisely, Taiko Yasuhiro!
Honestly.
I lost. Well, that sucks. I guess trying to work with someone else was a mistake after all. Hifumi's ineptitude was way beyond my calculations.
I knew it.
So, you really did approach Hifumi with this plan. But how did you get him to agree? I can't imagine he would have happily agreed to commit murder. I'm sure she relied on her specialty, lying. My specialty? Don't make me laugh. I didn't have to lie to get him to agree. So then, did you use, you know? I knew you'd figure it out, Kyoko. You're absolutely right. To get Hifumi to act as my accomplice, I used her. To everyone who's still left, I'll avoid mentioning it by name, but it was the one thing Hifumi and Tako were both super into. Was that she's talking about alter ego.
Say what?
What? What? What are you talking about?
Just a second.
Don't interrupt, we're in the middle of a very important conversation here. I'm totally out of the loop as usual. How sad.
In other words,
Then you're the one who stole it?
Indeed.
That's right.
I see.
And you used it to drag Hifumi into the plan that you came up with. Right again. Last night, after we had our little meeting about how it disappeared, I paid Hifumi a little visit. So, what are you doing here?
Actually,
I was hoping I could talk to you, alone. It's about what was stolen. I know who did it. What?
are you okay with this?
It was Taka. He stole it. What?
So then.
And I have proof. Would you like to see it? As it turned out, I have found a use for the digital camera. I've taken you-know-what into Taka's room earlier and took pictures of it there. I deleted the picture as soon as I showed it Hifumi, of course. So it was him. But how did he do it? She was supposed to yell if either of us got close to her. You are correct, which is why Taka forced me to steal it. What?
As for me,
Please forgive me, he threatened me. He did?
as for me,
He came to my room last night unannounced and then it was hard for me to even say. He abused me. What? And he took pictures. He said that if I did not do as he asked, he showed them to everyone. So I had no choice. Oh, yeah. Nope, that's a nope from me, Celeste. This is why you've gone into the official shit list for me. I can handle the lying because we all knew you were a liar, but saying that Taka assaulted you, oh gosh, that's a no. That's a crime, an absolute crime. I knew he'd gone a little crazy, but I never imagined he would go that far. He didn't. It was amazing how completely he bought it. I can't express how enjoyable it was. I'm about to say something I've never said before in my life. I'm going to kill him. I'm going to fucking kill him.
most unfortunate.
Wait, please, if you go out now, you'll be playing right into his hands. Huh?
Actually,
Taka was planning to use her to escape. And he has made you his target. Escape, you don't mean... Taka's going to try to kill you. What?
indeed.
And so that he can... And also he can keep her to himself. That bastard. Bastard.
Honestly,
Can we allow him continue with these barbaric acts? Absolutely not. How could I? She...
I swear I will save her!
I have to save her.
actually,
Then, would you like to join with me? It just so happens I have come up with a plan. Huh? I have devised a way to reclaim what he has stolen and escape this dreadful school. And with that, It's complete.
Hmm?
What are you talking about? Oh, nothing. Even me agreed without a second thought. The effect that item had on him was remarkable. The power of love. Even a love as twisted as that could drive people mad, it would seem. You disgust me.
I see.
I have another question for you. Was that strange costume Hifumi's creation? Yeah, it was a real pain in the butt too. All I asked him was to make something to hide the face and general body size. I had no idea he would come up with something like that. But it's my fault for picking him in the first place.
But
So, why did you decide to make me the suspect? Because you're stupid. That's it?
Let's see.
And in that regard, I made the right choice. I'm so glad your stupidity surpassed my every expectation. Life must have been tough on your parents, though. I feel like I could cry.
Well,
But when you were explaining your plan to Hifumi, how did you explain the parts about him playing dead? What she's asking is, how was Hifumi supposed to do that, assuming you'd actually let him live?
Are you okay with this?
That's simple. After he did his part and pretended to be dead when someone showed up, I told him he would be seriously wounded. He was on the verge of death, but he was barely holding on. And he really believed that? Well, of course. That wasn't all there was to it. As I explained it to Hifumi, the plan was, well, while you were all questioning him about what else could have happened, I was going to murder someone. And at that point, Hifumi would have had an alibi, so nobody could have doubted him. I told him that, and he believed it. It seemed very straightforward, stereotypical. I just matched the lie to the level of the opponent. In fact, Hifumi ate it all up. He believed the lie wholeheartedly, right up until the moment of his death.
so in the end,
So you had planned to kill them all along. But of course, there would have been no point to my plan if the one who pretended to be dead did not end up dead himself. How could human life mean so little to you?
Well,
It's a non-issue. I simply did everything in my power to win.
don't be mean.
Now you sound like Byakuya.
I wonder about
No. He derives his pleasure from the thrill of the hunt. In that aspect, we are nothing alike.
Why?
Then, what made you take things this far? Was it really just for money? Are you talking about the $10 million Monokuma offered us? It is a lot of money, that's true. But it's all there. But that's not all there is to it. From the moment our new life here began, my only thought has been escape. But all along, you've been saying how we have to accept living here.
you little bitch.
Of course, that was a lie. Yeah. I couldn't take it. I hated it from day one. More than anyone here.
You little
I wanted to get out. Every day was fresh torture. And you wanna know why, huh?
This is fine.
Because I had a dream. And accepting a life here would have meant nothing less than giving up on my dream forever.
Honestly.
And there was no way I could ever do that. In the underground world of gambling, I risked my life to take a metaphorical killing.
As for me,
And it was all for that dream. And was that dream of yours?
isn't it wonderful?
To live in a European castle. A castle? And to gather handsome men from all over the world to serve as my butlers/bodyguards. I was going to make them dress up like vampires to satisfy my every need. Once I obtained that, I've created a perfectly aesthetic world of decadence.
This is fine.
Living the rest of my life there was my only choice, my only goal. That was what life was all about. Combining that with my own winnings, Monokuma's $10 million what made that dream a reality. I got right to the edge, but
There is nothing to be done.
unfortunately, my dream has been scattered to the wind. Still, I have no regrets. I pursued my dream until the very end, so why would I?
Just the worst.
You sound so passionate, but you were still really able to kill your own friends for it.
Oh,
Are you asking me to feel guilty? That's a pointless endeavor. I think nothing about sacrificing others to my own ends. I feel nothing.
Do you understand?
That's all that it is to me. That's what makes me complete. Isn't it terrifying how different our values are? There's simply no room for understanding.
What is this?
That's what we should be saying, and plus, how can you be so calm? Don't you realize you're about to die? Aren't you scared? My ability to lie is unraveled, and I take pride in that. It's not just other people, I can even fool my own emotions. The conscious deceives the unconscious. And that's why you're not scared? That's right. I do not fear death. Kill me however you like. But you know, if I could be reincarnated, if I had a choice then,
Isn't it wonderful?
I think I'd like to come back as Marie Antoinette. You'd just get executed again. Celeste smiled then, and what she did. It looked like to me like a poor effort to force it. She claimed she could fool her own feelings, but that statement in itself must have been her final lie. And a fake, weak smile is what betrayed her. You all done? Well then, let's get rolling. The black contestants have the piece, so they must pay the price.
Now then, I prepared a very special punishment.
For her, the ultimate gambler.
Give it everything we've got. It's punishment time.
Well, let's see what form of torture it is this time.
I guess I'll let Kyoto hold on to this. What?
This is...
Will it really give you the hope you're looking for? I can't say I ever saw it that way. Which is why... Actually, it's not important. Well then... Take care, everyone.
Well, I mean, I gotta admit, she is facing her death very gracefully.
Perhaps we'll meet again. In another life.
Oh, that's sad. The burning of the Versailles witch. Oh no. Oh yikes. Well, I mean... Yeah. Still, burning someone alive is a little excessive. I mean, she liked the old-fashioned aesthetic, so I guess it makes sense, but... Oh! Oh, I see. They decided to isekai her. They decided to isekai her, I see. A Danganronpa isekai, that would be interesting. It's over. The third execution is over. Celeste's death is over. Celeste killed my friend, so I can't pity her, but I also can't deny that at one point I considered her a friend too. And for him to just come along and... Isn't it just awful? Someone can't cut free of their regrets from the outside world, and some more people had to die. You guys are still so young. You need to place more value on your lives.
What are you gonna do?
Jeez. And here I thought you guys were gonna pass the torch of hope onto the next generation.
Let me out of here!
What do I care about hope? But throw it into the trash if you just let me out of here.
Too bad.
You're the embodiment of hope, whether you like it or not. Fire truck coon. I mean, actually, I'm kind of glad that it wasn't the burning alive, because, oh boy, that's like the most horrific way to die, because if you don't die from the fire burning your flesh away, you're going to die from the, well, if you're lucky, you die from the smoke and smoke inhalation. But if you don't die by then, you're going to feel a lot of pain just as fire scorches your flesh away from you. Ugh. I mean, yeah, sure. It might have not been as bad as, you know, it wasn't as bad as the butter incident and Leon's, but still, I mean, I would much rather take that than the literal burning alive. Ugh. And it's my destiny to knock you down one by one. It's sad, yes, it is. But that reality just can't be avoided. Don't talk like you're not responsible. How long are you going to keep us going through this? What do you want from us? God, I'm so sick of people asking me that. Give me a rest already. So anyway, Gyoko, did I see you get some type of key object from Celeste? So, what's the deal with that? What? Huh? What's the matter?
So then,
I'll answer your question if you answer mine.
you...
What did you do? What did you do to me?
Ooh.
What?
Hey,
Answer me. What did you do to my body?
Ooh. How exciting.
Oh man, oh jeez, oh jeez. What do you mean, what did I do? I have no idea. I don't know anything about it. What was that just now? The mastermind did something to Kyoko's body? What does that mean? Well, things are getting kind of awkward. I think it's about time I got out of here. Meanwhile, you guys can go back to enjoying your school life. If you get lonely, give me a shout. Not that I'll do anything about it, of course.
See ya.
Here, see ya! Monokuma disappeared, leaving us all depressed and in despair. Although it wasn't all despair. It was one small hope. Hey, Kyoko. Monokuma already mentioned it, but what's that key that Celeste gave you?
so...
Most likely, it's a key to one of the dressing room lockers. Then that means Celeste probably hid it in there.
Hey,
I suppose sometimes it's easiest to miss what's right under your nose. Oh, we'd better go check.
Indeed.
Good idea. We left the courtroom and rushed into the dressing room. Sorry, my bunny just jumped into his hay container and fell through it because he wanted to pour hay. What? What the heck? I mean, he'll be able to get himself out relatively easily, but still, that's a little strange. As we approached the dressing room, Kyoko looked back at us and said,
Hey,
I'm going to go on alone from here. Everyone else head to the dining hall. I'll check on you with you later.
What?
Why exactly are you going alone?
so...
So you didn't have to ask. As she spoke, she glanced quickly at the surveillance. That's not what I meant. Why you? There's still the risk of a spy, you know. Then I'll go too.
What?
You? Please let me go. Standing here arguing was just going to draw more attention to us. Do whatever you want. Thank you, Byakuya.
well then.
Well, it's up to you now.
Yo,
I'm gonna go to the dining hall, okay? Huh? So, Makoto and Kyoko gonna go together? Does it mean what I think it means?
Okay.
Good luck, Makoto. Girls like our total pajamas when you show a little backbone. No, I tried to forget what Hina said. Everyone headed to the dining hall, leaving me and Kyoko there alone.
Shall we go?
Well, shall we? Yeah.
So then,
We need to get into that locker. Kyoko took the key Celeste had given and unlocked the locker, and as the locker swung open, we saw. Good morning. It's been a while, hasn't it? It's safe, thank goodness. I never heard Kyoko sound so relieved. It sounded like she was speaking from the bottom of her heart. I did just what Celeste asked. I didn't say a word. I stayed quiet the entire time. Oh, and I think I might be able to open the last set of files soon. Maybe as early as tomorrow? I'll do my best, so please wait just a little while longer. Well, now we can say officially that the case has been closed. As far as the incident is concerned, sure, but can we talk for a second? Since we have this opportunity, I want you to be honest with me. Kyoko, please tell me. What are you trying to do on your own here at the school? Is that why you wanted to come with me?
however,
Regardless, that's not something you need to know right now. I don't need to know? Then that makes me even more worried. Worried? Like what happened during the investigation last time. You disappeared and we didn't see you again. Without warning, without explanation. When you did that, it's only natural that they think that I'm a mastermind spy, right? And you too? No. I believe in you.
what?
You believe in me? Isn't it obvious? People believe in their friends, right? That's why I want to tell you. That's why I want you to tell me. And I want you to believe in me too. Because we're friends. I understand.
True.
Then maybe I can believe in you. Just a little bit more. Then,
That's fine.
fine, I'll tell you. I'll tell you why I've been disappearing and where I've been going. You see, what I heard from Kyoko then was, well, frankly, kind of blew my mind. Right after I told Kyoko I believed in her, she told me a story that was, well, almost unbelievable. I decided I needed to confirm what she told me with my own two eyes. So I waited for nighttime to come. And when I did, I went into action.
Correct.
The boys' bathroom on the second floor doesn't have a surveillance camera or monitor in it. And the storage closet there is way in the back. Way in the back of the boys' bathroom's storage closet, but can Kyoko really be right about this? Wait, okay. Let's see. Boys storage right in the back. It's just a normal storage closet as far as I can tell. The secret that Kyoko told me. Can it really be here? Sorry. My throat is kind of drying up. She said it was way in the back of the storage closet. But I mean, seriously? Without thinking. I placed my hand in the back of the storage closet and suddenly, as if I was being yanked in. Ka-chunk. At the same time as I heard that sound, I fell through the wall. I had no idea what was going on. But I'd fallen through the back of the storage closet. Huh? It turned out the back wall was like a revolving door, and I made my way to the other side, just like Kyoko had said.
Correct.
There's a secret room. But this is the secret room, but why is it in here? What's in here? There's a bunch of files and what looks to be like a volume, looks like volume after volume of yearbooks. They're all covered in dust. Looking at everything. One file at the edge of the bookshelf has caught my eye. Post-Peak Academy Student Registry? It's the only thing here that's not covered in dust. Has someone been looking at it recently? I slipped the file into my hand. But before I had the chance to look at it, A slip of paper fell out of the file and I turned my attention to it. What is this? You must not leave. That's kind of weird. I could understand if it said something like, I can't leave, but you must not leave? What's this? My head feels funny. A strange sensation. It's like deja vu. Those words, you must not leave. I've seen them before, somewhere before. But I can't quite remember. What do I know? What don't I know?なんですよ. Smug. A strange sound rang through my head. It felt like it was shaking my brain back and forth. And then, darkness. I don't really understand what's happening. I don't know what started it. It's all over. And with that, I opened my eyes. I didn't know how long I had been there. Gah. Ow. Apparently something hit me and I lost consciousness. That's when I understood. The dull, throbbing pain in my head proved that much at least. Someone took the files. An empty bookshelf. Huh? Empty? Gone. It's all gone. The yearbooks, the student registry, and even the note that has fallen out of the floor. It's all gone? What does this mean? But my brain refused to do any more work. The insistent pain in my head began to spread across the rest of my body. For now, I should head back to my room. Get some rest. My body was heavy with pain. My mind heavy with thought. I dragged myself back towards my room. Somehow, I made it back to the first floor of the school. The further I walked in, the more I felt things are starting to get blurry. Can't see in front of me. I couldn't stop myself from collapsing right there, and after that, as if from a vast distance, I heard a sound. It's faint but undeniable. That sound, it's coming from the gym. As I desperately pulled my shaky frame towards the gym, the sound got stronger and stronger. What's going on? Can't be nothing. Here in the gym? I didn't make a sound as I opened the door to the gym. The sound's coming from inside. Meanwhile, only intensified that much more. Kacha! Kachu! Sakura? Before me raged a battle beyond any humanly possible. No, one side's not human, that's for sure. But regardless, I couldn't stop staring. Oh, I forgot to move or even breathe.
What do you think you're doing?
Sakura Ogami, dot.
I asked you a question. What's the meaning of this? How dare you defy me?
Defy me?
This wasn't part of the deal.
Part of the deal. The deal?
I made a decision. I will no longer retreat, no longer compromise, no longer regret. I've made my decision. I'm going to resist you.
Okay, but you do realize what will happen if you go through with this, right? You haven't forgotten, have you? What I'm holding hostage?
What am I looking at? What am I hearing? A hostage then, could it be? The mastermind inspires Sakura. Seven. To be continued. Yep. Okay. And I think I'm gonna... Oh. What's going on? And then he got executed. Oh, this is just the beginning of the next chapter. Then she got executed. There's only 6 left. 7 left. 6 is the amount of people that leave the school, I think. 7. The next morning in the dining hall, the day after Celeste's case. So now there's only 5 of us here. Only a third of the number of people we started with.
Indeed.
Loneliness have become commonplace. That's true. Still. What did I see yesterday? I don't understand. Sakura is the mastermind spy? Could it really be true? Makoto, are you okay? No, I'm fine. I can't bring up in front of the others. If I did that, that would just confuse everyone that much more. Okay, in that case, let's eat until we pass out. What do you mean in that case? Well, cause look at how scary one looks. It's all cause you're fighting on empty stomachs, right? If you fill your belly, I'm sure you'll all tear up, so let's eat. Let's fry up some fish and donuts and eat it till we can't stand up. That's like a deep impact style meteor impact extinction level event combination of foods. What? Those are both breakfast time top sellers. Still, the till we can't stand up part is the problem. After we're done, we need to go explore. That's right. Since the course trial is over, new areas have opened up.
It's true.
Plus, we still have alter ego. We don't have to give in to despair just yet. She's right, we have to plan ahead and think about the future. Yeah, happy thoughts. Not deadly thoughts.
You know?
Like when we're gonna get out of here, right?
Serious.
When this is all over, I think I want to get reborn for serious. I mean, reborn as someone serious. You okay? It sounds like someone who's about to die would say. I'm totally okay. I'm not gonna die. Why? Because there aren't gonna be any more murders. What makes you so sure?
According to the spirits,
I predicted it last night, since it revealed itself to me from the ether. There's no doubt about it.
However,
How accurate is your fortune telling anyway?
how about that?
I usually hit 20 or 30% on a good day. That seems really low.
It's not like some occult mystery.
Well, yeah, it's not like it's ESP or something. Of course I'm only going to get it right sometimes.
The occult is bullcrap.
I told you, my fortune telling isn't like some occult thing.
So,
Fortune telling isn't a cult.
You got it all wrong.
Of course not. Clairvoyance is clairvoyance. Don't put it in the same category as cattle mutilation. Cattle what?
so
He's referring to the urban legend where aliens abduct cows and dissect them as part of their research.
Actually,
No, you're calling it an urban legend? As a matter of fact, it's true. As a matter of fact, it happened to me. It happened one day when I went to go get a hamburger. It was in a place I've never been before. They claimed their patties were 100% all beef. So I got a burger to go and headed home. But before long, the sky was filled with a mysterious blinding light.
some crazy beam came out of nowhere and locked onto my hamburger. And as soon as the beam touched it, the burger started floating in midair. And then, still floating there, the entire burger started coming apart. One part of it just vanished, while the rest fell back into my hand. Do you realize what that means? It means the burger wasn't 100% beef. He must have had some pork or something mixed in. Something like 70% pork and 30% beef would be my guess. You can't trick me.
So I stormed back into the burger place and got up into the manager's grill, and they totally admitted it. It wasn't a 100% beef. They totally mixed in ground pork with it.
How about that?
Now you see, that is cattle mutilation. I kinda got lost halfway through. I can't tell if you're looking for the occult, or against it. You stink of stupidity. I stink of— how dare you? Well, you do stink though. That's fine. That's fine? Anyway, I hope your predictions turn out to be true. Well, at the very least, I won't murder anyone. Me either. I mean, I would never.
of course.
Me either.
indeed.
Nor I. That goes for me too, of course. I could never kill any one of my friends. I feel like all those words of encouragement were helping us come together as one. So much sacrifice and hardship. We have finally become united. But,
Well,
to be honest, I wish Byakuya and Toko were here for this too. But they're so hard to deal with. They only think of themselves. Yeah, we're better off without them, I say. It was enough to prove we were united for the time being, but within that bond hid weakness and fragility. Can I save now? Can I leave now? Can I save now? Can I leave now? Also, our apologies. We began our search as soon as we finished breakfast and the dinner in the dining room. We had to find out what opened up, what was waiting for us. And for now, I'm gonna call it the end of stream because we've been streaming for nearly 4 hours. It's been nearly 4 hours. Oh, I can't wait to get up and stretch. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed the stream. See ya.